We rocking and rolling. You listen to the Sports Hungry podcast. All right, so this guy's not going to be a special guest. He's going to be a normal guest. Not even a normal guest. He's my co-host on here. We got Joshua Darnes. So we've actually done a podcast before on the On My Way podcast. So now we're going back into the game, but this time we're going to talk about sports. And so, like I said on the previous episodes of the podcast, we're going to talk about sports, but we're not going to veer off too far from the overall aspect of it because we're going to do what we do, what you see, what happens day to day on the regular. So your normal conversations, but we got a few lined up or guys that we're looking at to jump on and be some extra guests on here. And they're going to talk about the business side of sports, the aspect of the industry that we know about, we see, but talking about it is a little differently, right? It's a little different. So, Josh, you might well go ahead and give yourself your own little intro, man. Because again, I just learned on this thing. There's a clip, there's a little sidebar here. I could add music and intros, bro. What? I just pressed the button and I was like, okay, if I add my own music, no, this is a whole. That's where the drum roll and jokes and stuff pop up in transition. Oh yeah, well, drum
get busy on there.
What? So I'll tell you. But go ahead, Josh.
Oh yeah, if you don't know, now you know. It's that guy, Mr. Joshua Darnes. Like he said, I'm not new, but just coming back, trying to give my voice and give the people my thoughts.
Okay. So you know our favorite time of year is the Super Bowl. I actually, I don't know about you. My favorite time of the year is actually not even the Super Bowl. It's the draft period for me, to be honest with you. I just like evaluating talent, and after that first year, seeing how that talent did, and then go from there. But the Super Bowl is definitely on my top list of things I look forward to.
Well, I ain't gonna hold you. My favorite time of the year is September. What is it? September 9th? September 7th, whatever it is, when football begins. Because by the time Super Bowl comes along, I have no idea what I'm going to watch from the rest of that point.
Oh, man.
I don't watch basketball like that. I don't watch baseball until the playoffs.
You can watch modern day basketball, the NBA, them in the 70 points every day. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I thought we were watching basketball, but I guess we're not watching basketball no more. We're watching, I don't know, it's like watching a pickup game.
We're watching points.
Oh my gosh, bro. So many points. Like you can score 70, you can score 70. You want to score, you want 80? We'll give you 80. Like, and the guys who are scoring these points, and I'm looking at these highlights, and I'm
who are you?
Who are you? And why are they allowing you to do this with no effort? No effort. Nobody wants to play defense. But okay.
But I do love Super Bowl though. I do love Super Bowl because, like you said, this is supposed to be the best of the best. So, and we get the best of the best in this moment, and all the hype leading up to it. It's the quintessential part of this sport.
Are we truly? We have Patrick Mahomes going for his third Super Bowl, and he's been to what? This is his fifth Super Bowl he's been to, or fourth Super Bowl in 5 years, or 6 years of being in the playoffs. So he was knocked out by Tom Brady one year, twice actually on Super Bowl. You want to count that? And he was beaten by Joe Burrow. But now we're rocking into where he's starting to look like he's the next coming of the next guy. And
Ryan told y'all that 2 years ago.
Ryan Clark said something, and at first I was like, when I heard it, I was like, it's a good thing he said it after the Ravens game and not before the Ravens game, when he said there is no competition. It's Patrick Mahomes and everybody else. And the only person who bring their lunch pail when Patrick Mahomes on the field looks like it's Joe Burrow. But he's been injured. So he's not even in the equation right now because he's injured. But other than that, there's no battle out here. But we got a chance to see. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Finish your thought.
But we got a chance to see Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, Iowa State guy, at that, get a chance to not only go into the Super Bowl, but to take down, it looks like, the Giant. What's your thoughts on this?
All right, so I'll go to that first part about there being no competition. When Ryan said it, I can't even give my emotion of how I felt at that moment, but I was just like, he's kind of right and he's kind of very wrong at the same time. Do I feel like he has competition? Obviously, he does. We've seen Lamar in the generally it's in the regular season, but it's Lamar Jackson. We know who Lamar is. We've seen Josh Allen compete against him in the playoffs. Frankly, a lot of people committed, and I can see it. He kind of did play better than Patrick last year. His defense just faltered on him. If you want to quote it, or if you want to say it, Jalen played a great game in that Super Bowl. Once again, his defense faltered. So to say he doesn't have competition, I don't think it's entirely true. But if you look at the makeup of it and you look at his playoff record, the playoffs says a different story, and it says flat out that there frankly is no competition. I don't know if you remember, but I told y'all that that rookie year, that first game in Denver, end of the season, this in Mile High as a rookie, 300 yards. And the only thing that he missed was a touchdown, and the receiver dropped it. So I've called it that he would be great, but I believe that it's hard to talk down about Patrick without seeming like a hater. And I don't want to come down like a hater about it, but it's just they put him on a pedestal that if he falls from that pedestal, they're going to kill him for it, and I don't think that they should.
Are you mean as in fall like if he falls like Russell Wilson did? Or are you talking?
I could say if he was to have a continuance of years like this, that what he just had, they would say, what's going on with Patrick? I would say that his game has evolved because what people like to attribute to just purely his talent, Andy Reid was a perennial all-star. I mean, a perennial playoff contender
every year
for his entire career.
He doesn't know not going to the playoffs.
Exactly. Outside of Vic and McNabb, who's the truly great quarterback that he's ever had?
And I appreciate you saying Vic and McNabb because people
let's not sleep on who McNabb was.
People forget who McNabb was. They talk about him as like whatever he did off the field hindered him on the field. But let's be real here. If you take McNabb and you were to bring him into the Andy Reid, like he had Andy Reid's offense already, but let's say you bring him into the modern game, you're probably getting a Patrick Mahomes just because you're not hitting the quarterback like you used to. Yeah. The rules are not the same, and also Patrick might be a taller quarterback. I haven't checked the numbers, but
he might be
a taller quarterback. But McNabb
he's only 6'2".
He's on 6. McNabb was a big dude.
Yeah,
he was very solid. But I can agree with you on that with Patrick Mahomes. Like they see error, but you see growth and maturity in his game.
Mm-hmm. Like people they wanted to say that when he lost Tyreek, the Chiefs are going to be blah blah. I say y'all want to know what's going to happen? It's going to get a very similar Tom Brady kind of thing. They're going to struggle for a couple weeks. Once he finds his footing, they'll be just fine. They were just fine.
Yeah.
Went to the playoffs, got a Super Bowl. Blah. So now you got, like you said, Mr. Irrelevant. And they're essentially holding against Brock what Patrick came into. Patrick didn't have the best defense, but given what everyone would say, you have potentially the GOAT head coach of all time in Andy Reid, or at least the greatest offensive mind. You have who most people will call the greatest pass catching tight end of all time. And then you potentially have an up-and-coming, as some people will call it, top 5 receiver of all time in Tyreek Hill, given what he's done over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not going to hold that against Patrick, you can't hold that against Purdy now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you want to talk about track records, who's the great quarterback that Shanahan's had?
I mean,
he's had plenty of great offenses.
His greatest quarterback tends to come. His greatest quarterback in terms of numbers is probably Matt Ryan. But again,
he wasn't even a head coach.
He wasn't even the head coach. But even that's the thing. Because I think a lot of people forget or don't even remember who the head coach was for the Falcons because they consider that Falcons team to be Kyle Shanahan's team, as if he was making all the decisions. But he was a young coordinator trying to figure the game out because technically he's a young head coach who's been to multiple Super Bowls a lot quicker than you would technically look at. Because people are, okay, Andy Reid's been
2 or 3. No, I'm sorry.
The Falcons, the Niners on these last 3. Yeah, I think he's been a 4. I think he's been to 4. Because you had the Niners, you have the Falcons, and then didn't Garoppolo get to the Super Bowl but lose? Or that was that other year. That year
that was the one that he went. So I think this is either his 3rd one or he may have done so when he was an assistant coach elsewhere. But
when I see Purdy and even Shanahan's offense, they've always included one thing, and it's the same thing that Andy Reid's offense has included, right? A really solid wide receiver, a really solid tight end, and a really good running game. That is definitely not. They don't think about. You think about it now because you have Christian McCaffrey, but if we look at that Falcons run, that offense, they had 2-3 running backs.
Freeman and Coleman.
And it was crazy. And then if you see the 49ers, you got McCaffrey. I haven't checked who they have back, behind them, but you have a staple. Like he runs a good running game. Defense is also a name of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do I give Purdy credit for what he's been able to do? I have to, because he's the starting quarterback in the NFL. He's thrown 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and he's kept a 69% passing completion rate over the season. And I'm not gonna say he has the greatest receiving core, but I will say this: that guy, Debo, is a difference maker. Is he the X factor of the Super Bowl? He very well could be, but I think this game, in my opinion, comes down to the defense, because just like you said against, all the teams that have played against Patrick Mahomes, the thing that has hindered him or hindered those teams' victory has been the defenses showing up in the fourth quarter when the game really matters. Either they take a break or they have one little mental mistake that costs them the entire game, all the efforts they've done. But the two teams that he has played against who have shown pretty good defense, I guess you say three. The Bengals defense actually showed up that one game a little bit. So you had the Bengals defense. That first time he played Tom Brady in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game, and no, not even AFC Championship game, the NFC Championship. It was the AFC Championship game, and when he played him, and this is something that goes back to that chess match between Andy Reid and Bill Belichick, two of the greatest minds on their respective sides of the field, where you see Andy Reid, high-powered offense at the time. This is before Mahomes' offense, his game matured. And you see the old guy, Tom Brady, playing within the confines of what he understands that the game should be played. And this goes into, what we're going to talk about later with Tom Brady, is the mental aspect of it. Where I've saw Patrick Mahomes do this against the Buffalo Bills, and he did it against the Ravens. They slowed their game down. And they did it in the second half. While if you look at that game, Patriots versus, Tom Brady's Patriots versus KC that year, the Patriots in the first half slowed the game down so much. It was like, what are we watching? Like, what kind of game are we watching? And they did it again the next 2 weeks later against the Rams, and they beat them in the Super Bowl, because it was like, they were like, this is the worst Super Bowl we've ever had. No, this was the chess match. This was football. This was football. This is what you want when your coordinator and your quarterback are in sync. They slow the game down because they understand the game. Yes, it went into overtime with the Chiefs because the Chiefs kept scoring so quickly. But you can score as quickly as you want, but you can be a detriment to your defense because they score quick, and they did the same thing what the Falcons did. Keep scoring so quickly. Eventually, that defense is going to get tired, and eventually you're going to have to pay for it later on in the game, which the Chiefs end up paying for it later on in the game because their defense was on the field. I mean, you can't keep going 15, 16, 17 play drives every single drive, and then my offense goes and scores in 4 plays. Look, I'm sorry. Slow down. Slow down.
No, you definitely right. I feel like I actually disagree. I feel like the key to this game for San Francisco is for their offense to just drive. I don't care what happens at the end of the day. Score. I just need my defense to just do their job as they've mostly been doing all season. Like I said, if I was San Francisco, you know what I'm doing? First start off this game, I'm throwing the ball.
Show them that you can. Show them that you ain't scared.
And honestly, I'm not even going deep. I'm doing screens. I'm doing quick seams. I'm doing end routes to see if your defense have came to play. And then once I see that, okay, you're going to give me, because chances are they want to stop Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Once I know I have the throwing lanes there, I'm going to run the ball. Because I'm going to see how much you're going to commit to running the ball. And if you're going to continuously give me the passing lanes, why would I stop? Oh, wait, I have Christian McCaffrey. I can fake run and cut him on sweep. I can send him to run routes. I don't have to continuously run the ball. Shanahan's system is persistent off running the ball. Oh, wait, I have Devo to run the ball as well. There's so many aspects to their offense that you kind of have to. I don't know how Kansas City's defense is going to hold up front, to be honest. I know San Francisco has they have a little weakness on their right side at the moment, but one of my key factors for Kansas City's defense was Charles Omenihu. He went down in the Baltimore game, but before he went out, he was one of the reasons why Lamar had one of them turnovers. And I told Kansas City fans, one of my homeboys, Charles is going to be one of those guys that's going to help y'all because he's right there at that tackle position, helping out Chris Jones. With him out, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Charles. And maybe Karlaftis is going to step up even more like he's been throughout this whole process. Also, somebody you might want to check out, it's going to be Kyle Juszczyk. I don't know who his matchup is going to be throughout this game. But if he gets free, I mean, I just want people to go back and look at that Denver game with that toe drag swag that he had on the sideline, bro. Like, Kyle Juszczyk is a fullback. What fullback is out here doing toe drag swag?
They don't do those no more. They don't do that. So they don't exist.
And then for KC, honestly, I feel like their offense honestly may run just fine. Their receivers have to play just a solid game. I think with Mufanga being out, it won't hurt. It won't hurt that bad. But I just want their defense to really lock in. Kansas City defense is going to have to lock in on Sunday. Big guys is really their corners. If they can stifle Ayuk and kind of keep Devo down, I think Kansas City legit. Like you said, if you want me to make a pick of who I think will win and who may actually win, it's probably two different answers. I think if they play their best game, I told you before, I thought San Francisco was easily the best team in the league if they played their best game from top to bottom. So with a couple players out and a little injuries here and there, it's kind of hard to say them now. But I still think if they play their best game, San Francisco got it. But if that defense doesn't do their thing and just pretty much just do their job and let Patrick do whatever he wants, this could easily get carried away in Kansas City's favor.
The Niners. Okay, so this goes into my guy that I think is just going to be big, and it is just Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa, because I believe he commands so much respect on the D line that the offensive line will commit to stopping him. Right, so he becomes the X factor because I feel like he's the decoy, the guy that we need, that I think needs to wake up. Who do you think about? Chase Young. former former top D-line pick, right? He was part of
Number two, I think.
Yeah, number 2. I think coming out of college, out of Ohio State, 14, 15 sacks. I think that motor is still there, but I think when you go to a franchise I think it depends on what franchise you go to. So just like a quarterback or just even like any other position, if you go to the wrong franchise, they're going to develop you. Either they're going to develop you wrong, or you might get a lot of injuries and you may not be able to be successful. But if you get traded to a team that knows how to win and a winning culture, just like how he was in college at Ohio State, a winning culture, you're going to eventually get to the point where I need to show up and be active. And I think this is one of those games where he can re-emerge as one of the best D linemen in the NFL. So I think Bosa becomes the decoy. And you have to ask the Kansas City Chiefs, will your D-line stop Chase Young on the other side, wherever Chase Young goes? Because I think he becomes that critical factor. Because the one thing we notice about Patrick Mahomes is he doesn't get sacked. He doesn't get sacked. But the games where he's having a hard time, the games that we've seen him lose, it's all because he's feeling pressure. And as good as he is as a thrower, Patrick Mahomes, once he breaks outside the pocket, can become more dangerous. But I think I would rather have him off his platform, searching, looking, and having maybe a spy at the linebacker position, just trying to make sure he stays in the confines. I think if you're able to do that, I think the 49ers have a chance, like you said, to win this. And also, they can run away with this. Because as good as the Chiefs are, there is some dysfunction in there. If you were to stop Travis Kelce, if you were to have Travis Kelce not catch 10 passes, get thrown 10 targets, and he catch all 10 and have 100 yards, it doesn't open the gate in the first half. It doesn't open the gates for him to be the decoy in the second half. Because most people didn't realize he only had one target to him in the second half. One target, still caught the ball. Still don't make sense to me. Like, he gets one target, still catches the ball. But for the rest of the game, he commands your defense because he got the ball so much. But it opened the door up for everyone else to make plays. Whether they scored or not, they made plays. They were open enough to prolong the game, run the clock a little bit longer, and get Baltimore out of there. But now, if you're doing this for the 49ers, who also they respectively have one of the best tight ends in George Kittle on their side, who's just like Kelce in terms of he wants that action, he wants the ball, he can command attention. So you've been practicing against a tight end like that all season long. You've been practicing against a running back like a McCaffrey with I keep forgetting, I keep saying his name wrong, Pacheco. So you've played something similar already. Your offense is already amazing. This shouldn't be nothing new to you.
No.
Just get home. Just get home. For Purdy, get the ball out quick. The KC offensively, or not offensively, the entire defense overall, KC have not had too many penalties. They're averaging about 30 yards worth of penalties per game all season.
Who?
KC.
On defense or offense?
On offense. On offense, they're
hey, look, them offensive penalties are on that old line have been crazy.
I think
Jawaan Taylor, he's going. All right, look, you want to talk about Nick Bosa? Hey, Jawaan Taylor's going to have help on that right side.
Oh yeah, because one thing we found out about Bosa in that first time, his first appearance in Super Bowl, was that motor was a little different. So now you don't mess with his sleep. And with a fire alarm. The Swifties, the game up there and mess with the fire alarm. So he's a little mad already. So he gonna get on the field mad. He might wear his his support hat for who.
Oh, so they might put Nick in all black for this game and just say, "Hey, boy, do your thing.
Do your thing.
Because hey, look here. I'm very scared for Chiefs O line. If they can't hold Bosa, and like you said, if Chase happens to do his thing on the other side, it could get ugly. As long as Greenlaw and Fred kind of maintain that middle. Somebody's going to have to spy. I don't know who's going to do it. Just like I told you last week, when it came to My number one message to my defense is hit him.
Regardless.
If he feels like he can run, you are going to lose. If he feel like he can do whatever he wants to do, you are going to lose. And that's as simple as that.
Regardless of with anything, because you keeping too many elements of his game open, and you have to close one of them off. And obviously, in my opinion, they played a better game than the Ravens. But Lamar helped KC by closing his own game. Yeah. He closed his own game off. They didn't do anything differently. The run lanes were there. He just closed his own game off. Patrick Mahomes he's not gonna close his game off. He's gonna open it up. And if you decide to allow him to keep dancing around, moving around, buying more time, a receiver is going to get open. A tight end is going to get open. And so instead of that 5-6 yard play, it's going to go for 15. And it might land in the wrong person's head, like a Kelsey. And Kelsey ain't going down. He ain't going for just 15. He gonna try to score. He gonna look like the most dominant tight end we've ever seen. Obviously, he's not Gronk, but he's definitely on that page. He's definitely on the page of what Gronk is.
They got the most touchdowns, so I don't know.
They got the most touchdowns, but I think if you think about it though, the game allows that to happen because think about it.
Not really. I think it's just for the simple fact that Gronk was injured.
Gronk was injured. Gronk was injured a lot, but for some reason he just continued to rock on. So your final pick, if you had to put money down, your final pick, it's gonna be KC. KC, you going with KC? Your final pick?
Yeah.
Okay. I got the 49ers. Mainly, there's two reasons for that. One, my job. KC looking like a problem, and I don't want to be up that long. KC's looking like a huge problem, but the 49ers, I'm rocking with the 49ers because I'm gonna go with the underdog on this one.
They're not the underdog.
Look, you can let them jokers tell you they're not the underdog. You can believe what they want to say, but
hey, I'm just telling what Vegas said.
Vegas wants you to lose your money. That's what they want you to do. Look, Vegas telling you the 49ers are the winners, but guess what? All their money on KC. It's hard to beat what? They're going for 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. This is it is an opportunity to be a dynasty. So that goes into actually, what's your final score?
Oh, all right. So I will say, if the two running backs have a game, this could be a high scoring game. So if Pacheco and McCaffrey both have days, I could see this potentially almost getting into the 30s. Okay. If this is a game where Purdy and Mahomes are throwing 30, 40 times a piece, I don't think they're going to score much, just to be honest. Mm-hmm. I think their relative defenses are a little too good for that. Mm-hmm. I think they can both get got, but if those running backs have game and it allows them to get easy touchdowns, yeah, this could be a high scoring game.
Okay. So this goes.
If I had to point it, I'd probably say like 27-24, 27-21, something like that.
I think in order for the 49ers to win this game, they have to hit 30. I think they're going to have to hit 30.
KC averages like 21, so
they're averaging about 21. But I just feel like in a shootout, and if they wanted to make it a shootout, I think it could become one. And KC has some good DBs. They have some
McDuffie,
they have some physical DBs. They are very physical.
Sneed's guy.
They're gonna pop. They're gonna definitely pop. I'm gonna say 34-31. A field goal should win this game.
Oh, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if each one of them makes at least 2 to 3 apiece.
Yeah, and I think it's not gonna be one of those short field goals. I think it's gonna have to go to distance. Because at some point,
they were talking about if any of these Super Bowl records could be broken. Given who they have, I could see KC getting a long field goal. I don't know why I'm blanking. Harrison Butker. Bucker got a boot on him, so I could see him potentially hitting
and it's in a
a
dome.
60 bomb. Exactly. He could hit 65. I'll see it.
I'm not against domes in terms of, for the games or whatnot. Like, cool, it's nice. But there is an aspect of me where I thought of myself like, man, I wouldn't mind if they had the Super Bowl outside because I like that added element of the game. I understand you like perfect conditions. Great. This is what it would look like if it's perfect conditions. But football's not a perfect condition type of game. And so
that's true. That's true.
For all the marbles, like, yeah, you don't want a rained out or snowed out football game. But if it's for the Super Bowl, I don't think it matters. Because if it's rained out, I want to see what you do. If it gotta be perfect for you to win a Super Bowl, or if it has to be perfect for you to go to the Super Bowl, what kind of run did you make? Right? I'm gonna ask you. I'm like, that don't look right. But if you gotta go through some snow, go through some cold, you gotta go, through the elements, and then you find yourself in a dome for the Super Bowl. Possibly, but I definitely would love to see that game outdoors. The next few years, just to have that element locked in. But I think next year's in New Orleans, so that's going to be inside of a dome. And then after that, I think New York might be getting it again. So, but that'll be outside as well. But if New York gets it, it's going to be cold. So this rolls into my next thing here.
Yeah, I think he was hitting at that dynasty word.
Yes, that dynasty word, man, is because I saw Stephen A. say something. I saw Shannon Sharp say this, and they made it sound like Shannon Sharp said, if you go on this long, right? So they've been to, let's say they lose the Super Bowl. So won 2 and 5, 2 and 5 years?
Yeah.
2 and 5 years, and you've been to the Super Bowl multiple times. Is it considered a dynasty? Sharp said, yeah, it is a dynasty because you've been so many times. While Stephen A. was like, no, because a dynasty is 3. You got to have the third one. You got to have 3 and 4 years because that's completion. Because if we're talking about just getting to the thing, you might as well give. I mean, the Buffalo Bills ain't pulling up no banners for 4 straight because you didn't seal the deal. The name of the game, and this goes back to why I love Mike Tomlin so much for the Steelers. They don't real coaches, real football people, and real, in my opinion, real sports fans. There's no sugarcoating greatness or dominance.
No.
Like there's none. And so it's like either you did it or you didn't. Regardless of how many times you've been to the game, you can go as many times as you want to. But if you don't get no rings out the deal, just like with Lamar Jackson, he doesn't like the MVP the first time was nice. This one looked like I got it. Great. But I would much rather be in the game because that's what matters in the end. So is this a dynasty in your opinion? If they do not win.
If they lose, no. If they were to go back and win next year, yes. I do agree with that. I can't remember who proposed it because I just heard it yesterday. If they lose on Sunday, no. One, because I do like 3. I feel like 2, a lot of people can get 2, just to be frank. If you want to be frank,
the Broncos got 2.
Broncos got 2. Seattle should have had 2 within those 3 years. Mm-hmm. If we're being frank, Seattle should have had 2. But I like that 3. 3 is a number that there's a lot of teams that have 2. I mean, just to be frank, there's a lot of teams that have 2. But when you get to that 3+ range, that's when you're getting to those are the upper echelon teams. When Kansas City finally got that first one, it was just like, okay, we got it.
We out of that.
You get the second one, you're like, you get the second one, you like, hey, we like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then I'm gonna be frank, you got about 2 good years of Kelsey left. You're gonna have to make the best of it. I don't know what you're gonna do. You're gonna have to keep getting this young talent going on, unless you're gonna sign Mahomes to another extension, which is very likely. Yeah. But he's already on a 10-year deal.
And you also
there's
plan
not
on
much more you can do.
you also plan on Andy Reid's time because
Yeah,
Andy Reid is not. It would be different if he would have been doing this run with McNabb or something like that, and it would have been different because he was younger,
right.
right? But to make this run late in his career, right, where the game has finally adjusted to him, it's kind of like I got my rings. I got one as an assistant. Now I got my rings as the head man. How much longer do I want to keep making these offenses? How much longer do I want to keep running? Yes, I have a nice young talented quarterback, but I mean I've had this all. I've already had this run. Like I'm kind of ready to either step away or to pull back. And so I'm wondering how much longer can he move with this? And the hard part about a dynasty, in my opinion, is like you said, one is good. One is like, I'm not the Lions. That's basically what you're saying. I'm not the Lions. I I am not y'all. Like we were with y'all, but we not there no more. We've been to the ship a few times. Like we got it. So I'm not y'all, right? And then it's like, okay, now I got two. I'm with the Broncos now. I'm talking a little bit. I'm with the Packers, or not even the Packers because they got a lot more than that. But like
Broncos got 3.
Broncos got 3. So I'm in the realm of conversations about, okay, can you guys really fully complete the Trinity? That third one, as nice as it as nice as it sounds, because it sounds so easy to get because you've been running so long. That third one, like you said, it puts you in the stratosphere of the great Cowboys, the great Steelers. It put the Patriots run. It puts you in that status of like, yo, this is different because we've had to keep certain pieces together. This is more a three-peat, in my opinion, is more of a testament not of the actual team, but of the coach. In my
Not
opinion.
even the coach. This is the team, as in owner, GM, coach. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, if Veach went and signed DeAndre Hopkins, I'm pretty sure they would have been the number 1 seed. They would have been fresh. They would have been the hands down Super Bowl favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they're trying to. Like I said, it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about Mahomes and not sound like a hater. But I've told y'all a couple years ago, this is the new Brady and Gillette.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mahomes and whatever Kansas City. I can't think of the name of it at the moment.
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead. They're the new Brady and Gillette. Arrowhead and Mahomes. That you have to go through there to get where you want to go. So if Brady didn't always have the best talent, but by the time Brady got higher into his career, his mind put him at a different space. I am very grateful to a degree to what Veach did. He did help build Patrick Mahomes to be a better quarterback. Now he doesn't have to focus so much on ability as he does his mind kicking him overdrive,
Mm-hmm.
along with Andy Reid's system, allowing him to be the best of himself. Because Mahomes is wild, whether people want to recognize it or not.
Oh yeah,
he can definitely get very wild. And a lot of people, people have dropped a lot more picks than he has. Just to be frank, people have dropped a lot more picks than he has. So when it comes down to this system, what Veach has done for this team, how the Hunts have handled the team, and how Mahomes is, if they're able to get to third and beyond, like you said, it just puts them in a different stratosphere. If they don't get it this year, it kind of puts it in, okay, let's go ahead and keep going. But like I said, Kelsey has maybe about 2, if he does something great, 3 good years left in him before he's just all right.
Because he doesn't seem like he'll be he's not going to be an Antonio Gates. He's not going to be.
He's not a Tony.
He's not going to be one of those guys who Gonzalez, who sits in the league past their time. It's like, look,
no,
I want you.
He can get plenty of money more out of this.
Yeah, and like also, the fact of the sports media side for players outside the game has gone up so much. Like Pat McAfee, like as cool as Pat is, and he rocks with or whatnot. I love his chant when he was talking about the Georgia Bulldog chant, and he was like, "Go Bama." at the very end. Like it was cool. It was cool. But I mean, Travis Kelce already has that type of bravado when he's still on the field. And once he gets off the field, he'll probably make, if not more, than Pat McAfee does already, in my opinion. But
I don't know if he's Pat, but I definitely get what you're saying.
I think it's a smoothness to him. When you talk about dynasty with Patrick Mahomes, again, definitely don't want to sound like a hater or anything like that. I definitely agree in that realm of he can be sporadic, he can be kind of crazy. I think his game looks great. The fact that he was able to do it without Tyreek Hill, and it helped look how good he's able to maneuver with a Kelce and with different
not even with Kelce. It's just that's
the multiple different new guys that
spread it out,
in. And he's done it.
Yeah.
And this is why we were so easy to allow him to pass up on Aaron Rodgers, is because Aaron Rodgers, as great as Aaron Rodgers is, he hasn't been able to get the job done multiple times with multiple guys, right? When he came in, he played with vets that were already on the team. So his Super Bowl goes with vets. So it's like, I'm the guy with a whole bunch of vets. And that's the same thing with Tom Brady's first three. He had a whole bunch of vets on his team. Just think about it, his linebackers, like, all of them dang near retired after the third Super Bowl. They're like, yo, we
didn't have to do much.
We done. Corey Dillon, we didn't hear about him afterwards. Like he was a check cleared. I'm good. I'm here, right? But it was more impressive in the back end of Tom Brady's career because like he's playing with quarterbacks turned into receivers. He's playing with guys running backs that you wouldn't draft it. I'm sorry. If I'm on Madden, I'm not drafting Whitehead. I'm not drafting Edelman. I'm sorry. I'm not drafting you because I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. But he's been able to use those guys and to maneuver and become great. We're seeing that with Patrick Mahomes, and I think the next level of his game is to see what he does with a coordinator that's not part of the Andy Reid's tree, and comes in that's a little different, and have a different style of philosophy. Because we can all say Bill O'Brien's offense is completely different from McDaniel's offense, because Bill runs, in my opinion, a very controlled, and
his is much more open than Daniel's is.
Yeah, and I want to see, and this goes into the next stage or next topic of what Tom Brady said. The mental aspect of the game is what makes you smooth. To me, like, you can run all the time you want. You can dance, shake, do whatever, thing like that. But when you can't move outside that pocket and you have to sit there and dial up the game while you're in there, because just like Tom Brady said, they're only dialing up probabilities. They're not dialing up anything else. So in order for this dynasty to be completed, I think this game is going to have to be the mental aspect for KC. And that will complete their dynasty mode. It will be like, all right, cool. They finally completed. Now it's completely Patrick Mahomes' team. Now he's in the upper echelons of the quarterback conversations. The Tom Brady's. We're talking about the Joe Montanas. We're talking about look, I'm gonna say his name because he got three. The Troy Aikmans, like, because he has three. So I'm gonna say it. He's up there now in those conversations.
So I'll put it like this. I don't think he's not going to never not have a potential Andy Reid coach with him unless the Hunts just flat out push him out. I think Nagy's going to be there. I think there's a smooth chance they may even call Bieniemy back, because whether they like Nagy or not, I believe they are missing something in that offense.
It's like a little detail. It's like, yeah. I think the one thing that most teams that have had Bieniemy around them, or he's been a part of as an assistant and whatnot, is that he's so, like, his attention to detail is very
he might be one of the most quintessential Andy Reid disciples that he's kind of really had. And so when it comes to Mahomes, a lot of people hate it when it comes to him. And I can see why, because you are a resident New England fan. And just to put it frank, them first 3 Super Bowls. I don't know if you've seen my Twitter, but the Brady Belichick conversation has turned into complete idiocracy and lunacy. I do not get people's point on this. Those first 3 Super Bowls were not Tom Brady at all.
Oh no!
Let's get that through our heads.
Oh, no.
So just saying Brady has 7 Super Bowls, Brady realistically has 3.
I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna say 4. Because look, the Bucs Super Bowl is definitely him. Because at the end of the day,
what did that defense do for 3 games?
The Bucs.
What did that defense do for 3 games?
Look, it would be different. It would be different if the Bucs were already like that. But
they were. They were just missing a little bit of consistency.
No. That defense was okay already on their thing. Tom Brady went and he just brought Patriots over. I think
you know what he did?
He brought Gronk.
He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't turn the ball over.
The defense even admitted. They said when Tom Brady got there, it was something different. When you believe like I gotta go superhuman because he's on my team. That's great. That's a feeling that you're like, I'm not letting him down because I watched him when I was 2 years old. So I'm not gonna let Brady down. I'll let anybody else down. I'll let 30 for 30 down any day of the week.
That's perfectly fine.
Him running through the gauntlet, the running back football gauntlet or whatever. I'll let Jameis rock and roll, do whatever he want to do. I'm not really caring about Jameis. But when Brady stepped in the building, the whole organization switched. And not only that,
it was us.
Gronk came back from retirement, bro. He came out of retirement. He's like, oh, this will be easy. We're going to the NFC? Free money.
No, definitely.
We'll get there. But, and also, this also goes about Brady again. People, again, just like with Mahomes, they're like, oh, you're a Brady hater. How are you liking the Patriots, but you're a Brady hater? Look, let's be honest here. Like you just said, he has never had a defense that wasn't top 5 in his entire career. Top 10.
I think his worst defense was 13.
Like in his entire, like that is impressive for anybody in a league that doesn't allow you to play defense anymore. And he's been able to they've been able to.
No, I lied. His worst defense was in the 20s at one point. I remember that.
2000 what?
That was in his latter years. One of those. Their rankings they played better than their rankings.
So,
but just to go back to this point though, because I know you resident New England fans aren't going to like this.
Okay.
If Mahomes wins on Sunday, that GOAT conversation becomes very shaky.
It starts to open up.
It doesn't start to open up. He's right here. If he gets 4.
Okay, I'm asking this. Because you 7 or 4, but I'm asking this.
I don't care about that number.
I'm asking this. This is something that has to be said. Brady, first 3 and the last grouping. Let me ask you this. Could Mahomes have done the same thing with that offense for those years? And you tell me this, because you're not playing it again. The offense is different. The offense for Andy and the offense for Brady, totally completely different in terms of style and freedom. My question to you is, if you were to take those same players that Brady had to play with over the last 4, those same offensive players, and you were to put them over there with them, and as good as Gronk has been, again, Gronk's early years was still trying to figure the game out.
He didn't even have Gronk. Gronk didn't come to 4 years later.
Can you do the same thing? Could he have done the same thing? I don't think so.
All right.
Not only that.
Who was his OC?
Not only that. Could he have done the same thing with I know you ain't talking about the Patriots OC, bro. Are you serious?
Who was his OC?
Charlie Wise.
Charlie Wise, and who was the guy that came after him?
Gosh, dog.
He just got a whole coach position.
Bill O'Brien?
Yeah. Okay. So, with a lot less talent, and then he got a high draft pick. You remember who that high draft pick was? He goes by the name of Mr. Rapey now, but
Mr. Rapey,
Mr. Deshaun Watson. Oh, what did Deshaun Watson do in them first early years?
He put up numbers.
All right. What do you think Bill O'Brien would have did with Patrick Mahomes?
I don't think he put some numbers.
Shit. Now, excuse my language.
Okay. I got
you. Think Bill O'Brien can put up numbers with Deshaun Watson? He can't do that with Patrick Mahomes.
Who was on Deshaun? Who was his receiver? Tell me who was his receiver in his prime. Who was his receiver for Deshaun Watson?
Who Hop?
Yeah. We ain't gonna act like Hop.
Okay, no, you're right. You're right. But let's not act like their offense didn't have talent back then.
Hop by himself.
They were on a heavy run game. Think about what a heavy run game would have helped, how it would have helped Patrick Mahomes back then. He could have just sat there, learned, and just did his thing. It would have been the best track for him, especially the guy that he is, to learn how to, I don't have to do all this. I can just...
Who would he have learned?
And then to later on get a guy like Josh McDaniels?
Who he would have learned? Who he would have learned with? Think about it.
Bro, you got to think about it. Bledsoe was throwing the ball. Bledsoe was leading the league in yards.
He was, right? And they were losing.
Okay.
They were losing.
Okay, but guess what?
They were losing.
Patrick Mahomes is better than him. Patrick Mahomes is better than Drew Bledsoe.
Patrick Mahomes is better than Drew Bledsoe now.
And he is better than Tom Brady. At this point in his career, he is much better than Tom Brady.
At this point,
he is the reason why his team is winning.
Let me ask you this. Because see, when we talk about these, this is going to go into that Stephan Jackson thing at the very end too. This plays all into it. When the OGs, right? I think they forget how the rules were differently, right?
I completely recognize the rules.
If the rules are different, Patty Mahomes ain't Patty Mahomes because you know why? He's not throwing to his tight end because his tight end's getting obliterated across the middle. The reason why Kelsey's standing up, the only reason why Kelsey's standing up, because players don't want to. They're telling the players, hey, don't hit him at the knees because you ain't trying to get killed. Also, I ain't trying to get fined for hitting him across the middle. You think Kelsey?
You trying to tell me that Patrick Mahomes wasn't Gronk when the gun been stupid?
No. We ain't talking about Gronk. We're talking about earliest Gronk.
And hold up, do you not forget that Gator boy that got drafted? Come on, man.
We're talking about early years. Early years here. Yeah, he played gunplay. No,
hey, chill out.
We talk about early years. If we go into the early years of Tom Brady's career, right? When in the AFC,
he didn't have to do nothing.
Oh man. Because his game was a little bit of dinking and dunking, right? His game was a little more dinking and dunking. Patrick Mahomes' game now is dinking and dunking. Early on, he's throwing deep passes. All he was looking for is deep passes. Even in college, only you look for deep passes. So you're only no. You're only looking for deep passes. So if you're only looking for deep passes, that means how long you dropping back? Because ain't nobody in the league back then has to be like that. So how long are you holding that ball? You think you gonna hold the ball and Bob Sanders back there? You think you gonna hold the ball with Ed Reed sitting back there having a good time? I don't think that plays that way. I just can't see it. I can't even see it. The Steelers. In the Steelers. Patrick Mahomes in his early years, he's not cool with throwing short passes. He's not cool with the underneath route. He wants to go deep. But if your deep is eliminated and you have to go short, he's going to hold the ball long enough because he's going to feel like I got time. Okay.
I'm cool with all that.
Have as much time you want. The White Freeney about to have a Sunday with you. He gonna have a good Sunday
with
you.
All that.
What? Nah.
I'm cool with all that. You want to know why? Because also think about the O-line that Brady's done had all the time. Who's this O-line coach? Skarnecchia?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been just fine with Patrick Mahomes back there. But all of that even said, the rules are rules. Rules change. It's life. It's real world. If you want to look at them numbers, here's Mahomes. Here's Brady. You want to look at Super Bowls and who's a part of that and the reason why.
Oh man,
here's Mahomes. Here's Brady.
If we're looking at passing yards in terms of,
I'm not even looking at passing yards. I'm looking on effect to the game.
The effect to the
game. Patrick Mahomes affects the games a lot more at the beginning of his career than Brady did at the beginning of his. Like I said, as a rookie in Mile High in January, he threw for 300 yards, bro. That was still the no-fly zone. Minus Chris Harris, I believe. Not Chris Harris, but Akeem Talib.
I mean,
that was still the no-fly zone. That was only minus one person.
Brian Dawkins already.
Come on now. He threw 300 yards, and the only reason why he didn't get a touchdown was because the receiver dropped it. That's it.
Oh, you know, I'm not even going. All I'm gonna say is,
I'm not a Chiefs fan. I told y'all who Patrick Mahomes was after that game. Did I not?
You did. You did. I think with Patrick Mahomes, he has a route to take, but I definitely believe we have to see what he looks like without his number one guy. We got to look what he looks like without his number one guy.
I definitely understand that.
If Kelsey's not there, what do you do? Because again, like even like to BG, yeah, we had other tight ends. You know, you obviously had Kellen Winslow Sr., you had Shannon Sharp, whatnot, when the tight end position was transforming into more so of a pass catcher, right? And Brady, in my opinion, with Gronk, found the perfect medium. Where Gronk is a good blocker, like he loves it. He's a monster on the line, right? And then you see Kelsey come in, and it's the perfect mix as well of a good blocker, but also will go downfield.
He's a solid blocker.
I think because he's not the thickest. I mean, again,
he's big.
Gronk was freaking massive.
Yeah, but Kittle's not massive. But when I say it comes complete tight end, Kittle's the most complete tight end that I've seen in recent years.
Kittle loves action, bro. Kittle loves action. He don't go out of bounds, and I appreciate that. So, okay, Tom Brady's comments on the new generation of quarterbacks. Actually, let me see if I can play this for you real quick. Let me see if I can play this little clip for you.
He said a little salty word in there. I don't know if we can play that on here.
Let's see. Can you hear it?
I remember what he said though. So, or better yet, I can tell you exactly how I felt about it.
So, essentially, what we saw here.
Okay.
Essentially, what we saw here is that Brady explained that the coordinators are giving calls to these quarterbacks, but if the coordinator doesn't change the call on the sideline or whatever, you looking back to him, basically, the quarterback doesn't know what to do to make his adjustments. And so all the little pointing that we see players do, going to the line, I see you, I know you about to blitz me. It's basically saying they're not reading that. They're not reading that at all. They're playing a guessing game, and it's dangerous to play a guessing game. And I think this is also why Patrick Mahomes does so well, is because he's picked up the mental side of the game really quickly, and has been able to make adjustments while the game is being played, and not wait until the play is over to make an adjustment. Just like Tom Brady in the comments said, Yeah, the quarterback drops back and goes for. Oh, he drops back. He doesn't see anything. He goes for 5-6 yards. We're saying it's an amazing play, but in all actuality, it's not an amazing play. It's like you didn't read the play. So when you hike the ball, you wasn't supposed to hike the ball. You were supposed to make the adjustments to where if it's a cover two, you call your best cover two play. But if you're going to run a cover two and you're going to do the crossing routes, if they run a cover two, you're going to do crossing route anyway. You didn't read nothing. You just hiked the ball and thinking that maybe I can make something out of nothing. How do you fix that? Where do you think where do you think those errors are coming from? Because these quarterbacks play 7-on-7 since they were like 5. They go to high school with, in my opinion, more intricate play calling than they've had before because they throw the ball a lot more. They have passing quarterback coaches nowadays. In college, they're throwing the ball so much more, right? But they get to the pros when the true test is now. The test is on. Like the plug is off. Where do you see how do you fix that, and where does that error coming from in your opinion? Where's the damage in the pipeline? Yeah, where is that at?
Well, so I said it outside of this, and I'll go ahead and say it in here. Dynamic quarterback play has seemed to become the expectation over actual good quarterback play. I have no issue with my quarterback being dynamic, but I need my quarterback to be a quarterback. If you remember, I literally just had this conversation. I think it was yesterday with some of my coworkers. I said, and we've had it for ourselves. I said, was Cam Newton truly an elite quarterback or an elite talent who happened to play quarterback? There is a difference.
That is
the reason you mentioned 7-on-7s. You mentioned 7-on-7s. You got to realize they play with these kids, but they don't play real football with these kids. That's the difference. You can have all these 7-on-7 camps all you want to. Yeah, you get to play with elite talent. Yeah, you get the quickness of the game, but that's not football. That's essentially flag football. And while flag football does have certain similarities to football, it's different. There's no O-line. There's checks, but it's not checks like you would on the line right there with your center helping you out right then and there, where you can visibly see 11 men moving at their own kind of pace,
or visibly not see.
Exactly, or visibly not see. So when it comes down to it, it's like, yeah, they have all these reps, but are they really real actual reps? Football reps? It's just like when you have. They like to talk about Dak having all these garbage yards. It's great that you have all these yards, but at this point, does it matter? The game is lost. Unless there's 5 minutes left in this game where you're at 34-31 and you had a potential to tie it up or whatever, those 275 yards that you got at the end of the game don't matter, bro. If I have 75 throws under my arm, but it's one-on-ones, yes, I know my receiver, but am I actually going to play a game with this receiver when I go to high school? When I go to college, hopefully he gets recruited to the same school as me and I know him. But once again, I have to learn how to play with him against a real defense when we go to practice. I have to learn how to play with him against a real defense when we play games. It's totally different. And so when you get to the league, coordinators, they make all the difference. And of course, you have to have a head coach who's smart enough to learn how to make those overhead decisions. But your coordinator and quarterback relationship has to be on point, hands down. If your coordinator can't relay those plays in time, if they don't have that symmetry to know how to call plays or how to have that feel on when to call plays, I don't care how talented your quarterback is, as we can see with Justin Fields, as we can see with Justin Herbert. If you're not calling them plays in, if you're not making the right calls, talent can only take you so far. We just saw it with Lamar. Yeah. Talent can only take you so far.
Because at some point in time, you're going to have to make the play. You're going to have to make the play and make the right call with nobody talking to you. Nobody's in your ear. You're gonna have to break it down and make the moves needed to be paid. Because like Tom said, coordinators are playing chess, their players are playing checkers. And that's a huge disconnect in the game right now.
And honestly, sometimes you don't even need to play chess.
Yeah.
Sometimes a play can literally be that simple, and you think that you need to play chess, i.e., Baltimore.
Oh my God! Look, hey man, it was almost like a game on the platter, and all you had to do was play your game, and you'd have won this game. But you tried to play somebody else's game, so
Couldn't
like
play Chinese checkers.
trying to get the marble on the other side. That's all I'm trying to do. Get the marble on the other side. When they just want you to jump on it, all I need you to do is just play checkers. Just play checkers. You don't have to.
They want to jump the rook, hit the knight out the way. Hey, what's your queen doing? Oh, just straight go.
I agree with you when you saying that with the reps. I see again 707 is just like it's the flash, just like Dak with his numbers at the back end of the game. It's flash. It looks good. The numbers look great, right? You put the ball in a tight window on 707 looks good, but there's always a difference because there's a reason why the game is not flagged when you get to the pros. There's a reason why the game spits the greatest quarterbacks in college out as if they had never played football before. Because once you get to the next level, this is what we're seeing with the issues over there with the Patriots with Mac Jones. We're seeing this a lot of times with again studs that were in college. You're seeing them. You're like, man, you guys are really good. James Winston, same thing. You're really good. Problem is when you get to this real game, when all the you don't have the best athletes. And I think that's also another problem with 707. It gives you the illusion that you have the best athletes on your team. And a lot of times you're starting to see this 4 or 5-star player that they're calling 4 or 5-star players. Because nowadays everybody's a 5-star. Everybody's a 4-star. When the rating system first came out and they started rating you by stars, you probably had like 5 true 5-star players in the entire country who were like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now you go on the list, it's 25. You're like, I didn't know there was 25 dogs like that in the country because it looks like when they get to the pros, they ain't dogs, and when they realize they're not dogs, they jump ship to another team. But that's here nor there. With a quarterback, I think when you're asking yourself, are you capable of winning a game, a real football game, and you harp back to what you did in 707, you're harping back to fictitious things because this 707 doesn't exist in the pros. There's no 707. Like yes, there's a period in time in practice where they want you to get timing down with your receiver because that's what a 707 is, especially timing with your receiver. But if you're running the country in high school with the same team that you've been running with for the last 6-7 years, and you guys, anytime one guy goes to college, you got to get another guy who's already a top player in his recruiting class. You keep getting these top players. Eventually, you go to a school that ain't got that. There's not a lot of Alabamas, and then also that the thing about Alabama is, and this is what some people confuse it with. They're like Alabama has all these 5-star players, 4-star players. Actually, if you were to go back and look at the recruiting class they had, they might have had 1 or 2 true 5-star players. Everybody else was a 4. And they heavily recruited 3-stars because they were dogs in their mentality and they wanted to be better. So they work harder to be better because people are like, where do you get these linebackers from? In Alabama, that 3-star down the street. He's a 3-star in Alabama, but he getting educated by the best coach in the country. And he starts to improve himself.
And you know what that brings? That brings me to 5-star linebacker.
What? And that gets me what? That gets me drafted. Like, they may come to Florida and get your guy like Zay Flowers. He was technically a 3-star coming out of high school. None of the guys wanted him. Lamar Jackson, nobody wanted him. Boston College said I'll take it. Louisville said I'll take it. You can play quarterback. And what we see now, 2 guys that's in the pros. So now when it comes back to that quarterback conversation, that quarterback, understanding, I think the disconnect is 707. But I want to ask you this. Do you remember if you go back to Chip Kelly? No, if you go back to the first, I think it is Chip Kelly and Oregon, their first few years. What was the one thing that we were all like, college football was like, Yo, that's so cool. That
That
is so
spread.
cool. Not just the spread, the card sheet. You remember they used to pull out these big giant cards and
yeah,
spin it. And
real high school
we
like.
like, yo, look, that's dope. They got these crazy characters on there, and they know what the plays is, right? And it got to a point where, and this is something because we never like when I was playing Little League football, we never done this. Like after the play was called, there was rare where we would stop, like about to say height, but something's going off, and we look to the right. Yeah, do it again. Do it again one more time. What I do, coach? Okay. All right, next play. All right, coach. The defense changed again. Hold on. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. At first, it was like, oh, new concept. Oh, this is just a different version of what Rich Rodriguez was doing. No, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Rich Rod's offense, as great as crazy as it was, and you're like, man, they're doing the same thing in Oregon. He had a quarterback who knew how to run the system and didn't need him all the time to change it. But Rich Rod definitely started that with that turning head look, because I'm even looking in my head right now, and I'm thinking in my head like I've seen West Virginia stop to look to the right. I've seen them when they were making that run. They stop, look to the right, see what Rich was asking them to do, and then they go make the play. The Oregon Ducks took that and Chip Kelly's offense and basically made it. They upped it with the little big play cards.
Yeah.
While you upped it to the play cards, your game got faster, everything got crazier, speed went crazy. You never adjusted. The players never learned the actual game. The quarterback didn't learn the actual game. They just went over to the pros and said, I'm one of the best. But this is also a reason why none of those quarterbacks that ran that offense have ever done well in the NFL. Not one. Not one. And you say about Cam Newton, is he an athlete playing quarterback, or is he a good quarterback that's an athlete? He's definitely an athlete playing quarterback, because Tim Tebow was an athlete playing quarterback. He was
I'm a Florida fan, but boy, he was not an NFL quarterback.
He was not an NFL quarterback. He can wow you here and there, depending on what's around him. He can make plays, right? He's what you call in college he's a game changer. In the NFL, he turns into a game manager that wants to be a game changer still. And I think with Tim Tebow and Cam Newton, they were such big athletes that it's hard for an 18-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid, don't care how good he is, to bring you down. Not everybody on the defense is Sean Taylor. Not everybody on the defense is the size of
Vince Wilfork.
Vince Wilfork. Not
or
they're not.
Peppers.
Yeah, the dudes ain't eating like that no more. Because nobody.
I don't know. Jalen Carter. That's a big boy.
That's a big dude. That is a big dude. But that also might be a reason why Georgia's been able to run stuff, is because they're guys size wise, and that's also what Alabama did. Once their running backs and their whole team look like they just got bigger, and everybody's like, where they get all these people from? Oh no, they just eating better food than you are. He took an NFL concept, brought it to college, and obviously you see what we see. NFL wise, and this is the problem the NBA is having as well. The basics of the game is being missed in certain positions, key positions. And the biggest key right now, we're seeing too much flash. This is why when we see the 707s, or even if you're just going to the camps, you're seeing the rush ins, how they're able to blow past the tackle, because the tackle's not learning the game the right way, and he doesn't have a way to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know what to do, right? Not only that, he doesn't have time to do it in the first place. His quarterback doesn't know how to make the adjustment to help him out. Because, in my opinion, the only reason why your tackle is getting ate up is because your quarterback is not reading that the end is about to do something dramatic. So even if the end is taking a speed rush and goes to the outside, you've made an adjustment because you read what he was about to do, and now you're either your running back picked up on the block, or your tight end broke off, or receiver cut his route short, just to make sure he's adjusted for the edge to help out your tackle. And this is and reading the defense, reading the offense, reading what goes on, it affects everybody on the field. It affects everybody on the field. And I think if we go back and they adjust that 707, and I'm not saying stop it because guys are getting looked at from 707.
Yeah.
But I do think when you get to college, there has to be a stopping point, man. Like, yo, I know you want to throw for 2, 3, 4,000 yards in a season. I know you do. But it doesn't help you once you get to the next level because guess what? They're not paying you like that no more. They're not going to pay you just.
I have a coworker whose son is he's a quarterback in high school right now, freshman, getting ready to go into his sophomore year. Kid has talent, and at this point, the offense is changing, potentially going to more like of a triple option kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm a quarterback growing up right now, just that you know, when you go to college, especially if you're like D1, the going rate is like $1 million, 1.2, $2 million.
Yeah.
Do you know the whole point of your offense, what it is to do? It's to score points. If I have options to score points, I don't care if I only have 200 yards in that game. I could care less. I have 5 touchdowns. What are you going to tell me? Is your quarterback scoring like I am? Does it matter that I only have 200 yards? Did I win? Did I put up points? Looks like I did my job.
Bro, they forget that part, bro.
I'm fine with my running back getting 175 yards. I'm fine with my running back getting 100 yards that game. If I get 3 games where I have 500, if I have 500 yards, I'm good. What more do you want from me? If I finish the year 5,000, oh, bro, better yet, the fact that I put 4,000 yards together and I have 30 plus touchdown in college, there's NFL players who aren't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Leave me alone. Like, what more do you want from these players? Yes, it's cool if I throw for 400 or 500 yards a game, but be realistic in what your job is to do. Your job is to score points and win. Bro, so if I can develop myself to be the best quarterback, so when I get to the league, I don't have to be taught that much. And so when I finally get to the league, they can cut me loose. And then, 300-yard games.
That's how you get
on where did this come from? I've been this. I just didn't have to do it back then.
That's how you get on the field. It's not, and again, it's not like in college, and we all know this. You can go for 500 yards, 600 yards, 1,000. You can throw for 1,000 yards in a game, and if you lose the game, they're gonna be like, "You did really good, but you still lost. So you didn't do what you need to do. What you need to do to win the game."
Unless you're Brady or Patrick Mahomes, then it doesn't matter.
But even then, if you look at Brady and Patrick Mahomes in their college days, right? The 2 things that Patrick Mahomes and Brady did, they were specialties in that caught the eye of the great coaches, right? If we look at Patrick Mahomes in his run, one, he's a gamer. Andy Reid likes a gamer, a guy who no matter who he's going against, he's going to ball out. He's going to try his hardest, right? He's going to go toe for toe with the other guy. So it's not about can my offense score points, because he's looking to score points every time. He's not looking for throwing a lot of yards. He's looking to score points every time. Andy Reid likes quarterbacks that's looking to score points, not looking to score yards, looking to score points. This is why Dak Prescott wouldn't work for him, because Dak is looking to look good on paper, but not look like when it gets to time for crunch time. I don't need you to look good on paper, because I've looked at the stat lines of the best quarterbacks in NFL history in terms of when passing became a real thing. They're all hitting about 12 to 14, 15 interceptions a season. So you know, oh man, he threw 17 interceptions, but he got 14 wins. I could care less about I could care less about the 17 interceptions if I got 14 wins. And in those 14 wins, he won 8 of them because he just kept going. He just kept going.
Yeah.
Brady's greatest asset coming out was, and this is as crazy of a stat it is, his ability to come back in games. Like he wasn't like he was and was sharing time with another guy. But when the crunch time hit, they put him in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Down points. Can you win us this game again? Oh, I'll win you the game. Okay, we're not even gonna let you play the whole 4 quarters. We're just gonna let you play that 2-minute drill. Can you win us a game? I'm gonna win you the game. That's his best attribute. Took it to the league, became what he did. I think quarterbacks in college, they need to figure out what is their best asset. Use that best asset because that's what's going to get you drafted. But you need to learn the game. You need to learn the mental aspect. Like your best asset, like Lamar, his best asset is he's able to run the ball. He's able to do a thing with his leg, right? But his other great asset that happened to him was who his coach was at Louisville. You have a guy who was in the NFL, who understood the NFL game. He was teaching you how to play to run an NFL pro spread offense or whatever. You go to the pros, it's an easier transition in terms of understanding the game from X's and O's point of view. All you need to do is use your legs because I already showed you what aspect of your game will work in the league. Use that because you can win with that. Patrick Mahomes, mental aspect, I understand it. I'm going to throw for a lot of yards in college or whatever I need to do when I get to the pros. I already know the mental aspect of the game, and I got to get a greater grasp of it. I have Andy Reid. He's going to show me how to do that. But also what made me good in college, what gave me the opportunity, I need to use that in the NFL because that's the only reason why they drafted me. They didn't draft me for the potential of what I can't do. They had drafted for the potential of what I've shown what I could do, and I can use this aspect to my league. I don't need to conform to everybody else's page. Because not everybody everybody ain't got no ring. Everybody ain't got no ring. So
and they ain't gonna get one.
They ain't gonna. They ain't gonna
because they don't have what the Patriots have, nor what Brady had,
and they don't have what the Chiefs have. They don't have it. Like they don't have it. There's a few quarterbacks I think they're gonna have a chance to get one, but in order to get one, there's a doorway with a big arrowhead on it, and behind that door is one big giant guy named Andy Reid, and in his back pocket is another guy named Patrick Mahomes. But if you don't learn the mental aspect of the game, you're not going to get past those guys. Joe Burrow. If he got an old offensive line,
you want to know what's funny? I don't even think that he's the guy. You know this Mahomes and Reid thing has a huge parallel with the New England, especially if Andy stays. It's like you have this consistent dog in a relatively easy conference, but within that conference, there's an ascension.
Not easy conference, easy division. Because we're not going to say.
I'm sorry, yeah, easy division. Easy division.
Because we're
where. No, you're right. So there's an easy division where you have an eccentric coach who happens to just beat up on you every once in a while. New England had Rex. Right now, your eccentric coach just got in the league. Harbaugh. Harbaugh is a different cat, and wherever he goes, he wins. If he can get the best out of Herbert gonna steal something from Kansas City from time to time.
Herbert is dangerous, and like Mahomes hasn't had to. He's had to play Herbert, yes, but he hasn't had Herbert with a head coach. And this is a part where
the funny thing is that he actually did beat him with Lovey though. Not Lovey. I'm sorry. What was your name? What was there?
Gosh, talking about the other black guy. Oh man, who they fired and replaced him with the receiver coach with the.
No, they replaced him with Staley.
Staley. Oh man,
I forgot his name.
Let me pull this guy actually. Chargers head coach.
He was a defensive coach. I can see real dark skin, another dark skin dude.
2016. Mike McCoy. Is that him?
No, Mike McCoy. I don't know who that is. I can't remember what his name was.
Mike McCoy.
Dang.
Nah, that's not him. Ah man. 2018. Chargers. Anthony Lynn. There he is.
Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn.
They won with Lynn. They beat Mahomes with Lynn.
12-4 in 2018.
So,
but I think the difference is that Herbert hasn't. Anthony Lynn was a coach. I think they didn't like him. I think that's just true. I just think the Chargers didn't like him.
That's all it was.
They didn't like that he was winning for some reason. I'm not going to say any reason why.
They wanted the new offense. Well, they didn't even go offensive. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what was that about. But I'll say this about Herbert, and this is why Jim Harbaugh is so great. Harbaugh is a head coach. He's not like, yes, he has an offensive mind. Great. That's his realm of entry, right? He's a quarterback. That's the side he's supposed to be great at. But he's a head coach. And a head coach, what makes a guy a head coach over just being a coordinator like a McDaniels or a defensive coordinator, right? Is that he makes decisions in key moments, not for the betterment of a player to be great, for the betterment of the team to do better. He's going to make calls that you don't understand, don't know why he made those calls, but if you run it the way he's telling you to run it, it's going to win. Because he's going to see something. Oh, yeah. He's going to see something, and he's going to teach you how to do it every single day. But also, he's not going to sugarcoat it. He's not going to just let you sit there and chill and be talking all this smack. This is the reason why the 49ers had so many issues with Jim, was because Jim is I'm going to tell you like it is.
Authentic.
I'm authentic. Either you take it or you leave it. However you want to dance with it, this is what it is. And the Chargers basically gave up and said, look, we can't win. You can do whatever you want to do with this. Now you have Herbert. You have all these. Their roster is so perfect. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And so now,
what's beautiful?
The Chargers. I love their roster, bro. I love their roster.
I don't. It's old and rickety.
Look, old and rickety can win championships. But I will say this. They're about to clean house.
Oh, they're definitely for the clean house. Keenan Allen has 2 years. Mike Williams has maybe 2 years. Austin Eckler is already out the door. I wouldn't be surprised if Joey Bosa doesn't have 2 years.
You see their cap space?
Huh?
They're over the cap.
Oh, they're extremely over the cap. That's why they have to clear house.
They are
the Keenan Allen contract, the Joey Bosa contract. You just signed Herbert.
They're $45 million over cap.
I believe that D tackle had a crazy contract. Lamar Joseph.
Man, and what's the name's about to go too? They're what's old boy name? The DN linebacker / DN.
Oh, Murray.
No, not Murray.
No, not Murray. I don't know you're talking
about. / linebacker.
Shoot, Murray might have to get paid soon.
Shoot, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll let Quentin Johnson go. The boy can't catch a lick.
Oh, I already told you he shouldn't have got drafted. That was Zay Flowers' job, and they folded. Folded.
I think we both were like, okay, I guess.
Bro, you know, I said, Ed, here you go. Y'all finna get Zay. Turn up.
Oh my God.
Quentin Johnston.
I was like,
what?
Okay. Okay. All receivers, you go for him. Look, Steve Smith said the same thing I said. The exact same word. He's like, I see him playing, I see him do stuff, but I don't understand it. Like I don't understand like you jump up for the ball, but you catch with you catch it with your chest coming down.
You know what he looks like to me? He looks like a track runner. That's
playing receiver.
Yeah, he's just a big track runner. He doesn't have wiggle. He doesn't have any finesse to his game.
Or hand-eye coordination.
He's just there.
And it's just honestly he can turn into a Patterson. Just can you
turn into who?
A Patterson. What you call it? From the Patriots, 84, used to play for Vikings.
Oh, you're talking about everlasting disappointment that people keep giving a chance to. Dang, not Patterson.
That is
Shoot, what's that boy name? Every time somebody picks him up, it pisses me off.
because he won with the Patriots. He won with
because he came from Ole Miss, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
No, he came from Tennessee. Tennessee.
Was it Tennessee?
I can see it right now.
God, that kid. Every time I see his name on ESPN, that just pisses me off. Like I'm like, why? Oh God, I can see his name.
Cordell Patterson.
No, not Cordell, because Cordell's in Atlanta right now as a running back.
But that's the guy I'm talking about. Because Cordell came out as a receiver.
Okay. Cordell is a totally different story. If Cordell was used properly throughout his career, Cordell could have been a perennial Pro Bowler.
You think he has okay.
He was never used. He was always used sparingly and never in the right way. They always wanted to use him as a punt returner instead of actually actively using him inside of your offense. You saw what Atlanta did with him, and you saw how he works. Had he been used in that same way throughout his entire career, that's why he had so much usage, because his body was so fresh.
Because he's not being used properly. So he's getting spare. He's getting like spare time.
Yeah, but okay.
If you were to take again, if you could take this guy, right, and turn him into something, he can't be a tight end because he can't catch. He's not going to be able to block for anything.
Yeah, he's big body. He probably can.
I'm trading that joker like it ain't nothing.
Oh yeah, he's going next year. He's not going to last long in the gym. I ain't going to hold you.
You give him a chance. I'm maybe I trade him to the Cardinals. I trade him.
No, I'm gonna give him a year. But if he's the same player, he's out of there. Cause
their roster, man, for the Chargers. I'm just look at their roster right now.
On paper, it looks great.
On paper, bro, they're deep. Look, they're better. Asante Samuel Jr., bro. Oh, God.
Yeah. Hey, and the thing, it's only his third year.
He's every bit of his dad. Every bit of his dad.
By year 6, he's going to be one of those guys. I feel like
his dad taught him the most important part of playing quarterback.
Very well.
And it was your job is to get the pick. Your job is to be feared.
He wants the ball. Chip wants the ball.
That's your only job. That is your only job. I don't care how your dad wasn't the biggest guy, but
it costs him sometimes. But it's
your job is to get the ball, and that's if you go get the ball, you can win the game. Obviously, and it turned out that way against the Jaguars. But you want to be feared as a cornerback. If you go down that line, I'm looking at their team right now, man. Who they got? Justin Herbert's a quarterback.
Oh, Asante Murray. I almost said Joey Porter.
Do they have Joey Porter? They have Isaiah Spiller.
You know that?
Nah, I like
from that last draft.
Yeah, he's nice. Let's see.
Yeah. Do they have Joey Porter? Who has Joey?
No. He's in Steelers. The Steelers picked him up.
He's in the Steelers. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
That would have been. They got.
But no, I love.
They got Mike Williams. I think Quentin Johnson was supposed to be the replacement for Mike, and it ain't. It ain't turning out that way.
Trash. I ain't gonna call him trash, but
bro, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Like
I'm not in the NFL, so it's hard to call somebody trash.
It's hard to call somebody trash, but it's that. I mean, God, boy, Jesus, man. I think he had the most drops out of any receiver in the league.
He does.
This man had 38.
I did not know that.
He had 38 receptions though. 40. They don't put drops on here. They ain't gonna put no drops on here.
I don't think so. That'd be very disheartening for them.
His best game was against the Broncos. That man had 3 catches for 91 yards and they lost.
He did. I watched that game.
3 catches, 91 yards, and a loss.
That was a crazy game.
This man, God, dog. Well, he had 5 catches against the Bears. 5 catches against the Bears. There's some terrible teams he getting catches on. All right. Okay. Dang, I don't jumped off the ridge. Okay, here we go.
It happens, man. It happens.
Here we go. We got. All right, so Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. Nice, simple, second time. young dude, MVP. Yeah. In your humblest opinion, is he going to be a Hall of Fame guy? If he gets no ring.
He's the most dynamic receiver we've seen since Vic. Hell yeah, he's getting in the Hall of Fame. And he's a 2-time MVP. One of them unanimous. There's only been one other dude that did that.
Without a ring?
He gonna get one. I wouldn't be honestly. You know what's gonna be real crazy? I really hate that they lost because he should have been in the Super Bowl.
Lost the way they lost.
He should have been in. And the way that they lost, it was so sad. It's because I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all thought he was better this year. Second year with Monken, what are you gonna say if he wins MVP back to back? That conversation is going to shift.
Not only if he wins back to back, but Lamar plays in a different game, a different style. He
cares too much.
He cares so much, and because he cares so much, he turns his game up. Because if you look at his first MVP versus this MVP, right, and this was almost unanimous as well. I think Allen got
one vote.
Allen got one vote, right? So in both situations, right? If you look at his first MVP, you're like, dog, he was crazy good there. But this is before he was able to throw the ball the way he's throwing the ball now. Now don't
you dare say that.
I'm not saying
feed into that narrative.
I'm not
his
saying
system didn't allow him to throw that ball.
I'm not saying that he couldn't throw the ball, but like I said, he wasn't throwing the ball like that.
There you go. He wasn't throwing the ball like this.
Because he wasn't throwing the ball like that, right? Again, whether that's system or just him not throwing the ball like that. He wasn't throwing the ball like that. Now, because he's throwing the ball like that, I think he does the next leap. And the next leap is next year could be very, very, like, we might see a different Lamar next year. And in terms of Monken knows what he can do with Lamar, but also Monken can kind of speak some different elements because Lamar, as dominant as he's been in his career, Lamar Jackson, and this is the best part about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is only 27 years old. He's only 27
and has won 80% of his games.
Has won 80% of his games.
Or I think at this point he's just under 80%. I think it's like 76.
And the one and he's 3,678 yards passing this season. 24 passing touchdowns. Right? And then we're going to go 24 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Like,
you said 24 passing touchdowns?
24 this year, 7. He's only thrown. This is the least amount of interceptions he's thrown. Hold on, we'll go back one more. Make sure I check this out right one more time.
All right. Guess how many touchdowns did Aaron Rodgers have in his back-to-back MVP season?
12. At least 12.
He had 26 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
Hold on. Let me say it one more time. You said 26 touchdowns, right? And how many interceptions?
12.
On the NFC side of the the conference. I know they say NFL is the NFL, but we have seen the AFC and we have seen the NFC. Yes, NFC may have there may be some defenses. You like, man, they some good defenses. Great. But if you're not playing the best quarterbacks week in and week out, every single week, how good is your defense really? If you only got to play the defense twice in the season, you might get them one time in you might play that team one time in October. Maybe not even October. You might play them in September. You might get one little knockoff. Oh, man, I had to play Tom Brady this week. But I don't see him unless I go to the Super Bowl.
Well, let me correct myself here. He He was 37-4. They were crying because Brady had, what did Brady have? Brady had like 45 touchdowns. You know, when it comes down to it, Lamar had 24 passing touchdowns. How many rushing touchdowns does that count for? Oh, wait. Last time I checked, if you run into the end zone, it counts just as much as that passing touchdown does.
That is
if I checked last time, you know.
That's
so
29.
Last time I checked, your quarterback is scoring those points, so that means he is a part of that run.
Dog, bro, I'm gonna take back what I said in 2019. I'm gonna take back what I said because I'm looking at
what you mean?
I'm looking at Lamar's numbers, bro. That man went stupid.
He had 38 touchdowns,
36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 7 rushing touchdowns, 1,200 rushing touchdowns, bro.
Yeah, he was stupid.
He had
800 this year.
He had 821 this year, 5 rushing touchdowns, and again 24 passing, only 7 interceptions. It's
the efficiency, of his game and how he took over. O-line troubles. He never had a consistent stable of running backs. Never. Odell was hurt. Rashad Bateman was hurt. Mark Andrews was hurt, and you still ended up as a number 1 seed.
And the interesting part about Lamar's career, and if you look at the years where he got injured at the back end of the seasons or whatnot, the interesting part about it, like you said, with the running backs, there's I think was it 2012 when they lost all 4 running backs right before the season started. Like it was like back to back to back to back.
Well, was that the year that Ray Rice came out when he started showing out? 2012? No, that was earlier.
Yeah, it's a lot earlier. That was recent.
That was like
bro.
2009.
That was recent. They had lost. I think they had Dobbins, whatever his name is, running back from Ohio State, who was on that team.
No, Dobbins didn't get there till like 17.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. I'm talking about his 2020.
You said 2012, so I was like, you mean 2021?
21, 22, and 2. He was injured. He got injured at the back end of the season.
Oh yeah. But yeah. Dobbins got hurt.
They got
whatchamacallit.
Gus got injured. They had a stable of backs that just got decimated right before the season.
Yeah, decimated.
And they wonder. They like, oh, should we pay him? Should you pay him? Man.
The reason he didn't play because Jit was hurt and he didn't want to. You know, I might be healthy, but I could go out here and get hurt again. I love y'all, but
you ain't gonna pay me if I'm injured. You're not gonna pay me if I'm down and out. Not only that, like I played in my last year contract. I played against.
That's a dangerous game, man. And see, in both of these 2 cases, they have worked out. Well, honestly, Kurt kind of set the precedent for it, but in the last 2 cases, at least, it has worked out swimmingly.
Kurt.
Yeah. Kirk played in that last year, that deal.
Kirk is
that 3-year, $80 million guaranteed. Got another deal fully guaranteed.
He has.
How do you get 2 deals in a row fully guaranteed?
He has the best agent in football, bro. There's no way I'm paying Kirk Cousins that much money, bro. Look, I like him. I do. But I'm not paying him that I'm not paying you that.
A healthy Kirk Cousins in San Francisco right now. Look at what Minnesota was headed to before he got hurt.
Is a Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, he's not.
Yes.
Don't you dare say that about Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Don't you dare say that about Kirk Cousins.
He's a Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's way better than Jimmy. I wouldn't pay Jimmy $2.
Oh, how? Until Purdy.
Kirk is getting 10.
Until Purdy.
Kirk can get $10.
Until Purdy got here because of Jimmy's injury. Until Purdy got there because Jimmy's going to start. Purdy got injured.
Jimmy was going to get that thing regardless. They had to. Hey, we have to play Jimmy because we paid him. But this guy right here, he's better.
Jimmy G had in those times with Kyle Shanahan, with Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy G record with Kyle Shanahan, right?
That's nice.
Yeah. The 49ers, until Purdy, the 49ers had a winning record with him starting. Anytime he got out, they were losing.
All right, cool. Let's go back then. Since you want to say his record. Could you, if you want to look it up, I think I could pretty much sum it up for you. You know how many passes he threw in the Super Bowl?
What are we talking about? Jimmy G?
Yeah. You know how many passes he threw?
No.
I know the exact number. 8. He threw 8 passes. You know how many passes Brock Purdy has thrown for in these last 3 games?
How many?
Almost over 70 balls. He's thrown almost 70. Over 70 attempts. Jimmy didn't throw. He threw maybe half of that, bro. Jimmy didn't account for your offense. Brock is. So Brock actually accounts for your offense.
Is
Kirk would account for your offense.
is okay. Is Purdy better than Matt Ryan?
Yeah. Who? Matt Ryan? Not Purdy? Yet. No.
He's not, right?
Physically, maybe. Right in the overall game, no, not yet. No.
Physically,
Matt had a game.
Matt mentally.
Yeah, Matt not running.
He's a mental.
Matt's a dog up here, and Matt could easily go be a head OC somewhere.
I'm
hoping. I give him 2 years.
It depends on who. I think he goes to Shanahan. I think he goes underneath Shanahan for a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That would be a smart.
He's smart as hell.
Yeah, that'd be a great move. And it, it'd be funny though if he were to say, "I'm gonna be a D coordinator instead."
I mean, they often say a lot of D coordinators play offense, or a lot of OCs play defense.
So he's a okay. So we can. Lamar Jackson's is on the trajectory of a Hall of Fame career already.
Of course.
And the ring,
he's 27. He got 2 MVPs.
The ring, like the MVPs, has him at Canton. The MVP, the Super Bowl, puts his Canton bus in a different spot in Canton.
Because he has a spot in Canton, but that ring will make him a first ballot.
Does that matter to you? The ballot of which you go in? Because I think it's different for.
I think first ballot lets you know that you're one of them dogs.
I think I do think it's based off position though, because
it may do with voters, but to me, if I can look at you, I can look at your game, and I say that you're a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Supposed to be a first ballot?
What?
They gave him. He was a second ballot.
They're idiotic.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that was
people can't separate somebody is from what they played. I don't care about who he was. Yeah, he liked to flash his mouth, but was T.O. a bad person? No.
His work ethic
on that field, he was crazy. He was a dog on the field, and that's all that matters when it comes to this game. What did you do and perform for me? He did it. Cowboys, Frisco, Eagles.
He's about to do it
everywhere he went
before he decided, before the end of it. The 49ers, like, he was doing that. I mean, he was the replacement for Jerry Rice. And dude was man.
They could have had hardware.
Oh, whoa.
Could have had major hardware.
Oh yeah. I would have loved to see him. Oh, man. It would have been nice to see him, like, if he would have joined like the Steelers, or if he would have joined like the Colts. After if they would if him Reggie Wayne, because I'm saying
and with Reggie at the last bit of their careers, that would have been crazy.
Who you
with Andrew? Man, they screwed my man Andrew. I'm sorry. Let's not go into it because I'm gonna get mad because I just watched some Andrew Luck highlights.
Andrew Luck, and it wasn't revealed to most of the public until after his career that football was truly a hobby. Unlike other people, when they go to play football, they're going to play football because it's a job. They really want to do this because
Andrew just loved
they need the money. Andrew, because he's already wealthy because of his parents, he's doing this. He's really doing this because he loves the game. Like, I really want to do it, but I'm not going to give up my entire body for this. And it hurts me so much because those two guys drafted between with Robert Griffin and Andrew Luck, those two guys linked together in history because of their position. It's so much of what ifs on their career because Robert Griffin with his injury and how they used him, and he even said it like the way they're using him, the way they used him in Washington was a detriment to his career because again he got injured when you could use me in other ways. You could have used me in the passing game, but the thing is, you had to move. You had to move.
I saw Robert for what he was when he was in college.
I saw Robert when he was in college. I mean, I played with him on NCAA. I definitely.
Of course, everyone did. Hey, you want to talk about a cheat code?
Oh, and the Baylor uniforms.
That's hey, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. That green combo went stupid with the mud.
I can't wait for the game. I'm already geared into it. I can't even wait for the game. Yeah. I'm already looking at like I'm gonna be an OC for one of these teams, and I'm gonna pick the sorriest team on the game. Because some people be like, oh, I'm gonna play Ohio State, or I'm gonna
just go on TikTok and it'll tell you about the sorriest Division 1 or Division 2s, D3s, and they'll show you each one of the sorriest teams in each division.
And you gotta rock, bro. Look, and that's the beauty of the game. Can you turn a program around? Wherever position you at, can you turn a program around? It would be dope if you're able to move him over to NCAA to Madden, but if you're able to move your coach, over to Madden,
that would be crazy. Or hey, look, be able to move your quarterback to get drafted and all that stuff.
Oh my God! Because they used to do that, but they had I don't know what they had stopped it for some reason.
Bro, that's a crazy feature that you can add to online play.
Oh my gosh, bro! You'd be like, I'm about to imagine you're doing a dynasty mode with a whole bunch of people. You're doing a dynasty mode online with a whole bunch of people. And your boy been killing you with this quarterback he done recruited. He been killing you for the last 2 seasons and won a national championship. You like, dog, that's okay. When we go over to Madden, you better hope you get him.
I'm gonna draft his ass. Like, and now you looking sick.
It only counts in the pros. It don't even count in like
how you gonna draft my man? I can't even play with him.
Hey, look. You can trade me.
Hey, look here. There's gonna be so many petty conversations.
Let me get 3 first rounders. You want them so bad. Let me get your first this year. Your 2 first for next year. I knew you traded for another first back then. Let me get that.
Man,
got my whole team over again.
That'll be the most hilarious feature ever, bro.
Man,
they gotta do that.
Let's see. So we got the Hall of Fame selection. Any against anybody getting in, or you kind of like, all right, they all had worthy careers.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, Julius, who's finna go against that? Julius Peppers, really?
Oh, in his prime.
Bro, even later in his career, he was still a dog.
Man, Dwight.
Of course, Dwight Freeney. Dwight's an interesting one. Of course, he has the hardware. Of course, he's been he had a long career. I can't say I disagree with him.
It says he's not a first ballot. I don't think he's first ballot. I think he's like second, third. No.
This is third ballot?
I'm trying to see. I don't think he's a first ballot.
So it's because there honestly there are some guys that like T.O., like Fred, who've been waiting for a minute. And let's see, Freeney is 18th all time in sacks, 7-time Pro Bowler, and he had that crazy. He had that crazy little spin move where
a legendary spin.
A legendary spin move. I ain't gonna hold you. Legendary spin move. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say with Dwight, Andre Johnson. Is this Andre first ballot or is this his second?
I think it's his second run. I don't think he would.
I can see him being a second ballot.
He missed it.
Willis, however, yeah, that's not even a conversation. Julius and Patrick aren't conversations for me.
We're seeing linebackers like Luke Kuechly, right? Great linebackers
First ballot.
that are kind of walking away from the game early, and it's kind of like, yo, what if like Patrick Willis again, like 2017 to 24, like he hit 7 seasons, just 7, and I mean the dude was a hammer. It was like, oh, he's the next Ray Lewis,
bro.
Like,
2010 All-Decade team, led the NFL in tackles twice, has 600 yards.
100 tackle seasons.
Bro, he has 600 tackles.
He only played 7 seasons, bro. He only played 7 seasons.
That's what you call the GOAT.
That's you know what? That's like Aaron Donald type of situation where,
bro, if he had played for 12, 15 years, he might have took that title.
Oh yeah, hands down.
He might have took that title.
The best linebacker.
Hey, everybody loves Ray, but hey, look, 4 more seasons of 100 tackles, bro. That's
I'm trying
crazy.
to figure out if Jim Harbaugh can find another guy like that.
Hell no.
I mean,
no. The person that he could have used is already drafted, and he just run Roy. He just run Roy. I told y'all that 2 years ago. That boy belonged on Sunday, and look at him. Yeah.
Man,
y'all gonna start listening to me one of these days.
Hey, there's a guy. Look, I'm gonna keep harping his name a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna get the opportunity, but I think that boy Spencer Rattler is that guy, quarterback wise. I think he's that guy. And if I'm the Vikings, I'm gonna call him in. Spencer Rattler on the Vikings.
All right. Would you spend a second round pick on him?
If I'm the Vikings, yes.
Would you spend a second round pick on him?
If I'm the Vikings, I'm gonna say yes. Because the reason I'll do a second round pick.
All right, scratch that. It's Patrick Mahomes, 20th year in the league. You need your next coming guy. Would you spend a second round pick on Spencer Rattler
over Patrick Mahomes? Or is
Patrick Mahomes been 15? Patrick Mahomes, 15 years in the league. He says, "I think I'm good." Are you picking Spencer Rattler to lead your team to the next coming?
Okay.
Nah, get out of here. Do you know how expensive a second round pick is these days?
I do. It all depends on what my roster look like. Because if the roster is looking like what the Vikings have, receiving core wise,
do you not know that your quarterback depends on if you retain that receiver?
Look, man, dude just got paid, bro. Look, he got paid like 2 years ago.
You think somebody ain't going to absorb that contract for the number one receiver in the league? Somebody going to absorb that contract with no issue at all.
Look at this. At the end of the day, you can't tell. And this conversation gets me. This part gets me heated a little bit.
I would absorb that contract in 5 minutes.
This is getting me.
Justin Jefferson wants to come to my team. Here's 100 more. Come here.
This is the part that we come to every year talking about receivers and paying receivers. Look, Justin Jefferson is amazing. Yes, he is. But I don't need a number one receiver like that to win me a ring.
Every team does not.
To win me a ring. Like, I'm not absorbing a $100 million contract. For what? What team? Tell me. You tell me. Team that's in contention. Because if we're not talking about teams that get in contention, anybody would take them because they're not in contention. They got the room.
I'm sorry, let me get in my camera.
If the teams are in, you've been in the camera. Actually, this thing has really good range. Team in contention. What team in contention would absorb that contract? In contention. These are you can't say Dallas because their money seems like it don't matter. It just seems endless. They never over the cap space, but they never win it. But they always paying everybody. I think every year they're paying somebody.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Ravens could kill 3 contracts and sign him.
But if you kill 3 contracts,
and we'll get that much. Odell, Bateman, and get one of those defensive players. There you go. I'm good. That's all I needed.
I don't think I'm absorbing that for. I'm not.
I'll absorb it.
I
Justin Jefferson, Zay Flowers, and Mark Andrews for the next 3 years. I can smell a ring. With that run game, I can smell a ring. All they need is a possession receiver, and they are good. They're good.
That's not bad.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind a bigger guy, but with Justin, I'm cool with that. Honestly, if they want to go get Tyler Boyd and pay him, I'm just fine with that.
If they go get Tyler Boyd, that's different because you're not paying him. You're not going to pay him that much.
You're not going to pay him as much. They'll probably do like a $50 million contract kind of thing.
The Ravens cap space.
Raiders?
The Ravens.
The Ravens? Yeah, I don't think they have that much. They might be solid. But after this Lamar contract, it's kind of up there.
They got, roughly $7 million in cap. It's not a lot at all.
Nope. Like I said, you got to kill at least 3 contracts.
But there is a way. They got 6 moves they can make to clear it. They got to cut Ronnie Stanley. That opens up about $50 million in cap.
Staley? They're not doing that.
Yep.
They're not doing that.
Stanley, yeah. You got to restructure Marlon Humphrey's contract. That saves another $7 million.
They could do that.
They say restructure Lamar Jackson contract. Humphreys is 27.
Okay. Yeah, I finna say we should be around the same age.
This ain't happening right here. Restructure Lamar Jackson contract. Hell nah. I just got this.
Wait, I can't say that they wouldn't. I can't say that they wouldn't do that. Given Lamar's propensity for wanting to win, there's a smooth possibility he could shift some money forward, put some less on the back end.
If you were to give me, let's say you see this 260, you were to put it in the back. If you were to put some extra towards the back to adjust the contract, that fully guaranteed number is going up. I'm not like if you're gonna push that 260
of course,
and push it back because he has 185 million, which
185.
He has 185 guaranteed, but 135 of that 185 is fully guaranteed. I don't get that. Oh, was fully guaranteed.
Yeah, I need 150. That 150 has got to be guaranteed.
Fully guaranteed, because that lingo is an ugly word, bro. Fully and saying guaranteed, because to me, guaranteed means full. But if you say it's a fully guaranteed and then it's guaranteed, there's an issue there. I didn't pick that up until Ryan Tannehill out of all quarterbacks. The first one to really pull out that card of fully guaranteed. I was like, the hell?
No, he wasn't. Once again,
he wasn't.
Go on back.
He wasn't the first. Okay,
Kirky.
He wasn't. He wasn't the first.
2 in a row.
But his. Let's see how long a Kirk full. And then, okay. Let me see. You got Marcus Williams, and it looks like it says restructure his contract.
D lineman.
Yeah, and you got no, not D lineman. He's looks like a safety.
Safety.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you were to go towards Mark Andrews and you restructure his contract, you would save about $4 million. Who's that linebacker they got? Number 0.
Queen? No, not Queen.
I like number 0 for the Ravens.
Dang, he came from Patrick, and dang, I can't because they thought he was going to be the guy. It's Roquan. Roquan is 0.
Roquan, he's number 0?
They just paid Roquan from the Bears, so.
Yeah. I like Roquan. I like his game.
No, Roquan's a dog.
I like his game. Yeah. I like his game. That's a guy you're just not gonna give up. There's certain people you're not gonna give up.
No, so you can get. I honestly I can get rid of Bateman. I can get rid of Odell. I can restructure Marlon. I'm pretty sure I can restructure Lamar's after next year, and I can go get Justin and 27. Hey, Super Bowl or 26. I'm sorry, 26.
I think you can do 26. I think you can do 26 if the Ravens were to make that move. Do I think they make that move? I don't think they make that move.
Oh hell no!
But if you were to, let's say you were to like send them a letter, Just send him a little letter or a little DM, and you're like, hey, consider this. Consider this out.
He probably take a pay cut. I can restructure Justin still. I'm pretty sure he'll come do that to play Lamar.
Because then he'll have a better chance of getting the Super Bowl.
Way better chance. I know he loves Kirk, but with Lamar and Ravens,
because he realized the same thing that old boy in Dallas is realizing. I'm not gonna win one with this guy. I'm not gonna win one with this guy. Like
unfortunately not.
CD is a really good receiver, but I'm not gonna win one with this guy. But
he gonna get you paid though.
He gonna get me paid. But I think after a while, depending on where you are, depending on what type of player you are, the money gonna come regardless wherever you at for them. But it's like, do I want to be known as a guy who got really paid, or do I want to be known as a guy who also got paid but won something? Because I'm not winning anything here. Also, if you are a top receiver and you want to win a Super Bowl, you will not be playing in a dome. You will not be playing in a dome. Not unless your team builds a dome. You are not playing.
Reggie Wayne played in a dome. Larry played in a dome.
Larry didn't got no ring.
He's still a top receiver.
Yeah, but Jefferson's a top receiver.
He was that doggone close to getting one. He should have got one.
He was real close, but guess what? That dog who ain't in a stadium, ain't in no dome, caught that ball in the
Dang, Kurt. Nah, boy, I tell you, that thing hurt my heart, boy.
Oh, my God, that catch, boy, with the feet down, too. Ooh!
How, Sway?
They don't make receivers like that no more. Oh, they might, but...
And to think of all people who got that pick six, it was him. Harrison. Of all people.
That big dude. Big dude. Rumbling, tumbling.
100 yards just like this.
A bunch of steel running.
No, bro. A bundle of steel running downfield. Couldn't stop him for nothing.
Nah. Not no
just sad.
All right, cool. Shoot. Okay. We okay. Hall of Fame list looks solid. A quarterback situation with how Brady feels, as well as Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's on track. This is obviously an outlier. Last but not least, Stephan Jackson. We can say this is a little short. Stephan Jackson. I think I said this right. Yeah, Stephan Jackson.
Stephen A.
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh.
Stephan Jackson basketball.
Old cat.
Yeah. He.
Oh God. What do you say?
I'm not saying dude wasn't I'm not saying dude didn't play on worthy teams, right? He definitely played on worthy teams. But I'm gonna say this: I'm not scared of you playing for the Spurs because you weren't the guy that I was fearing on the Spurs. But for him to talk about Austin Rivers and comparing Austin to Bronny, to me, it's like, did you not see Austin in high school and college? Because we're not going to compare Bronny to Austin in the NBA because that's two different. Bronny's not even in the NBA, and Bronny doesn't look like he's going to the NBA. He doesn't look prepared to be a guy in the NBA. He looks like he might be.
Not yet.
But if you were to just compare high school,
Austin was that guy.
Austin high school and college, bro, like was freaking insane. And the thing is, the only thing that Austin Rivers said was, I don't think Bronny should be playing with his dad when he gets to the league because it's too much pressure.
I don't either. No, it's not even a pressure. It's just I said it even when Bronny was in high school. I was surprised with the leaps that he took from his freshman to senior year.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously got bigger, more athletic. He could already shoot. I already said he was a more all-around player, better than his dad was.
Mm-hmm.
He just wasn't quite as good defensively as his dad, as LeBron. So,
also,
he's just not.
I don't think he. I know California has some ballers, and they definitely do. I don't think if you compare the caliber of players that LeBron was playing against in high school versus the caliber of players that Bronny was playing against in high school, I don't think you can compare the two, because although I think physically, I think Bronny has, again, like shooting ability, skills, great, but I think mentality wise, I think it's two different things. Because LeBron, as much as they want to talk about LeBron and not having that killer instinct, I think he has the killer mentality because he has a lot more game winners than everybody else. But I think about LeBron when the competition he was playing in high school, like, I mean, shoot, you playing Carmelo Anthony? I don't see Bronny playing anybody that's even Carmelo Anthony. His next following year, like LeBron's like junior. You got Carmelo as a senior. Carmelo goes to, like, they have a great battle in high school. Carmelo goes to Syracuse and win them a championship, and was the freshman player of the year. Like, dude was everything. Bronny ain't playing nobody like that. No, there's not one. There's no one.
No, nobody.
Coming. There ain't no one he played in high school like that, and there's no one coming that's in college right now that's a dog like that. Because we're not talking about him. We talked about Zion.
Yeah,
but I'm not. I mean, there's not another guy I'm talking about unless there's another Luka coming out and he actually plays in high school or college. I don't think we're talking too much about it. But I definitely think Stephen Jackson.
Yeah, he just came in. His name is Wemby. So,
and Wemby didn't even go to. Wemby went over to Australia, which I definitely believe, or is in Australia. I definitely believe that he's gonna have to do the same thing. I think Bronny, instead of going straight to the NBA, take a little trip to one of these European leagues or over in Australia, play a year, and play with some bigger dudes. Because I think skill wise, in terms of handles and that stuff, the players in coming out of the US, that's what they do. They're the flash. But I think the understanding of the game to be great, because we're seeing, again, Luka, we're seeing Jokic, we're seeing Giannis. These guys are coming in the league, taking leaps and bounds of their development and their dominance of the game so quickly, because the guys that are in their class, they're not like that in terms of just the normal basic elements of the game. Their fundamentals are trash, are just garbage. And the guys that you would say, oh, they can't beat this guy. Well, KD is 30-something years old. LeBron James is about to hit 40. The guys that you're telling me these guys can't beat, Luka and Wemby and all the stuff they can't touch, they're on the back end of their career. They're about to walk out the door. But the guys they have to play against for the next 10, 12 years, there ain't no one there that you can tell me I'm really nervous about. Only, and if this game develops the way it's starting to develop, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is my guy.
I almost said Shy, but Shy is Canadian too. So
Anthony Edwards is my guy, and I know nobody want to give him credit with his development that he's shown this season, and he's actually been on the court this season. I like Zion, and I think Zion has a really good future if he's able to maintain his weight. But
I haven't seen him, so I'm with Zion just like I'm with Spencer. I haven't seen them, so I can't really give a good word on them.
This is the issue, and I'll tell you the issue with Zion. And this is the part that's going to frustrate a lot of people about Zion. This is what frustrates him anyway. Frustrate people about him. You know when you see a guy playing a sport and it looks too easy for him, and they lose, but you're like, how are you losing? Because this game is too easy for you. How are you losing? But it's like, dog, do you really care about the game, or are you just playing because you're really good at the game? And I think sometimes right now with Zion, it's kind of like, is your heart in the game? Because the game is easy for you. You can shoot wherever you want to on the court. You can dunk on anybody you want to dunk on. You play pretty good defense against anybody you want to play against. You're not the easiest guy to get around. But is that because you're naturally a good basketball player and you know how to play the game? Or is that because you really want to be good at the game? And I think
that's having that kind of talent, and not like, if I was Zion, I would legit be the next Shaq. Like that. The fact that I know I can move you out my way with no issue, the fact that I could plow through you like there's no tomorrow, bro. I'm scoring 30 plus a game. I'm having 30 plus rebounds a game because you can't touch me, cuz.
He's to be honest, when he's committed, not even when he's committed. I think right now he's averaging like 20-something points a game. He's not, in my opinion, he's not trying. Like he's good. Like that's why I said like his this year he's shown that with effort, a little bit of effort, bro. Right now, this season, he's out 22 points a game, and this is just him giving the bare minimum of effort. But when he wants,
if I was him, there would be 3 people that can keep me from getting the ball in my hands. 3. Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic. Other than that,
the 3 guys, the 3 guys I just told you that I was just talking about what I said about the players of the
last 3 MVPs.
Yeah, and
other than that, there's nobody else keep me from getting 30 and 15. There's no way.
There shouldn't be anybody. There shouldn't be anybody. And what you just said, he is. And the thing about he's 6'6". He's 6'6".
He's the modern day Charles Barkley if he just gets his act together,
bro. And Charles told him. We always want to know what Charles looked like if he would have played in today's game. There he is. He's right.
30 pounds less.
30 pounds
He's right
less. There. You see what he is. You see what he can do. The game wants him to be great. I don't like him.
Matter of fact,
I don't
go ahead and lose them 20 pounds so you can be Charles Kidd. Come on now.
Think about it, man. He's a power forward, and let's just say
he's heavier than some centers, bro. He's almost 300 pounds. Kid, I'm pretty sure he still weighs 280 pounds, bro.
And he still moves smooth. Like he
bro, drop the 260 and do something to people, bro.
Man. Drop the 2, bro. If he dropped the 260, we might see
LeBron.
You know what?
LeBron came in around 240. He got up to 250 as his general plan.
I like Zion. I think his development is coming along now because he's playing. He's actually on the court. But like you said, he's not, again, giving his all is not his thing. He needs to lose his weight. I don't want him on the Pelicans. I just don't.
No, God.
I don't. And I think he's on. I think he's on the Pelicans because everybody else in the league is saying like, is he gonna lose the weight? If he loses the weight, we'll go trade for him. We'll go get him. But I don't like him with the Pelicans. I would much rather see him go to like, and this is just my opinion.
Are you gonna say the Heat?
No. Well, I think mentality wise, if he went to the Heat, it would be
Pat would kill him.
Pat would kill him. The 30 pounds, he ain't gonna have 30 pounds. He might drop down to 220 or 250. He might drop down to 250 just because
he's not dropping down to 250.
But
250 is too light for him.
I would, and it's, I guess just because where I want to see him with the Magic and the Magic build around Zion, because you got a brand new arena. When they're winning, when the Magic were winning, the arena is packed, and that's a good environment. The Magic with Zion in the East built around him, you get him a good point guard because there's no really good point guards in the NBA. But we have seen what the Magic do when they have a center or power.
Shai doesn't exist,
bro. Look, true points, not shooting guards that play point, not.
I guess
not slow behind. What's his name? Who can't get past nobody no more?
What are you talking
about? Clippers.
James?
Yeah, I'm not. James don't count. James is a shooting guard that got heavy and said, "I'm gonna play point." That's what he is. He's a shooting guard that said, "I got heavy. I'm gonna play point. I'm not gonna play anything. I'm gonna play point because I can't get around nobody. I can't even and then also Atlanta, they're what's his name? For Atlanta, he's not getting much love.
Trey or Jajante?
Hold on, my bad. Like he's not getting much love over there with the Atlanta Hawks, in my opinion. I think the door's wide open. The door's wide open. Let him go. Let him trade him. Trade him to the.
Oh, are you talking about Trey or DeJounte?
Trey. Atlanta's not buying into winning. Atlanta's not buying into winning. So we got to get rid of that.
What?
They're not buying into winning. They don't want to win. They are.
They can't win. They can't get a complete team together.
Exactly, because since if you're not going to put the complete team together, let's go and look. They are a more glamorized Pelicans. They are more glamorized Charlotte. What I mean by that is, you go draft the guys.
You just hit the bottom of the barrel with Charlotte.
You go draft the guys, and we'll come pick them up from you. You go.
Atlanta has at least been competitive. You can't put them in a realm as Charlotte.
You can be competitive. You can be as competitive as you want to. That's what I want you to be. I want you to be competitive. But you go be competitive and train these guys up so I can go take them. Like they are a mining system for everybody else. Go be good. Go get better. You will be a great. you're going to be a great 6-man for my team.
They traded for Trey.
Yeah. Guess what?
You remember draft night?
Yeah. And guess what we got? Who got the better deal? Who got a better deal? Who got a better deal?
Yeah. But did they though? What have they won?
They both made out well.
Okay, then. They both made out well. It ain't like either one of them has won anything.
But what we can definitely say this: the Mavericks are putting their eggs behind Luka to do good. They're going to try to figuring that out. If we look at freaking, they're not putting all their eggs in short stuff. They're not doing that. But if you take trade him, get some picks to the Magic. Zion gets to the Magic. Trey and Zion, that's two people.
That's a lot of money.
That is. Who the Magic paying for? Who are they paying for? They're paying for the arena.
Are they paying Paolo?
Trade that sucker. Trade him.
Is Paolo that bad? Has he not done nothing since he's been in?
I'm not saying. Let me pull this guy up. Paolo.
I thought he had a pretty good second year.
Let's see this guy here, stats wise. I mean, he's averaging 22.8 right now. He had a good game against the Pistons. They're terrible. A good game against the Heat. The Heat don't play games until the second half of the season. And he had a good game against the Spurs just recently. And the Spurs are freaking garbage. They are garbage. They have a good player, ish. But yeah, and he's a power forward too. He's a power forward too. Maybe you can run a small team. You can run small.
Paolo's what? 6'8", 6'9"?
He's 6'10".
He might be 6'10".
He's 6'10".
Yeah, okay.
You can run small.
I mean, he's a big power forward. He just don't have that size.
He got his size, but I mean, even you take Zion, Trey, and him, all they can be. You can keep Paolo. But just run a small team. Because it's the East. Who's the biggest team in the East?
I mean,
the 76ers have the biggest guy.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's, man, look, Milwaukee looks good, but the thing is, Milwaukee.
They're getting old though.
Yeah.
So.
And then Milwaukee, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to, for some reason, give Giannis' brother some playing time. And he gonna do what he did last night. That man threw the ball off the top of the backboard. Got the ball back. I was like, who is this guy? They're like, was it Thaddeus?
Bro.
They don't put him in.
That's so sad, man.
Somebody said,
I'm sorry for the camera to see that.
Who was that? I think it was Charles Barkley. Somebody said, if you really care about winning, you would tell him to cut your brother. Like it was Shannon Sharp. Sharp said, he's like, if you really care about winning, you would tell him to cut your brother.
He legit the only reason they in the league, bro.
Bro.
Them boys trash.
That boy Garbo. Like, look, Giannis, you a good person. I rock with you because you putting your brother on. But, bro, you talking about you want to win, and you taking up cap space.
You're a detriment to my team at this point. I don't care what you do. You are the detriment, sir.
That boy playing pickup basketball.
Because you making me pay $10 million for a fool.
And you ain't going to give me another ring. Milwaukee ain't getting another ring. Not with the East doing.
What, Dame? And no defense? Heck no. Shoot. Y'all wasting a little bit of years. Brooke got left in his life.
Brooke need to go to a contender. A real contender.
Should have went to the Lakers 2 years ago. A year ago.
Look, man, the Lakers, the Lakers are in this cycle where they're taking a vet like LeBron, same thing they did with Kobe. It's the same situation. Except Kobe's years, like Kobe was done. Like he wasn't. He was still Kobe, but he wasn't that athletic Kobe as we once were. Once we knew LeBron, a little bit different. His body style is a little different. He's been able to maintain his body a little bit more, but they're not doing anything to help him out. They're not doing anything.
No. Well, first off, they're paying him way too much, so there's that. But
he gonna get paid. Like he's gonna get paid.
I understand that, but bro, you got more than enough money. There's no reason you should have the contracts you have. But I honestly, I would just say, imagine if Brooke had went to the Lakers. Now you can let AD play the 4.
Yeah.
You can let Bron run point and get you some shooters around him because Brooke is cheap.
Yeah.
Like I felt like that would have been, or if you wanted to, go grab Boogie again. He's finally healthy. He hasn't played. Get him back in the groove.
Good knees.
I don't know about good, but they're okay.
They'll be
He's healthy. He's not prime.
They'll be serviceable for the run because
he's more than serviceable for the run.
You that's what you need. You need guys who are serviceable, not for the start of the season. You need them serviceable for the run. And this is the thing. This is what Miami does really well. They don't play any basketball the first half of the year. Any basketball. They are this is their preseason. They're training. But in the next half,
no, they're not. They finna turn it up because All-Star break just happened.
Yeah. They about to go dumb, and they're gonna try to figure it out. They're gonna get to the playoffs, and the thing is, they're gonna get to the playoffs, get the last seed, warm up again even more, and then when the first round of the playoffs hit, they might end up playing. I'm not gonna say the top seed, but they might end up playing the number 3 team, or maybe number 2.
I don't know. You got Milwaukee, Philly, Celtics.
That's 3.
Is Miami the last seed? I'm pretty sure they got to at least be somewhere between 5 and 7. So I think they can get a relatively solid seed. And frankly, if their talent is working out, hey, look, you might have just got him some solid help with Scary Terry. So
I like Terry. He fit like he's a.
And the thing is, Terry's actually getting older, but he's still a solid player. So
that
was a solid pick. I can't believe they gave him a first round pick for him though. That's what blew me.
So I got you right here. And this is the order right now. You got Celtics are at 1, Cavs at 2, Bucks at 3. The Knicks are at 4. The Knicks are at 4. The Sixers
Miami
are
could beat the Knicks
in a 7-game series. Yeah.
What?
Let's see. You got the Sixers are at 5. Pacers are at 7. Heat are at 8. Magic are at 9. The Bulls are 10. The Hawks are 11. The Nets are right outside that. The Raptors, Hornets, Wizards, and then you already know who at the bottom. Then the trash ass Pistons.
They could beat the Pacers.
They can beat the Pacers. They can beat
depending on the night. Honestly, we've already seen that they beat the Celtics. So
and they can beat the Sixers in a 7-game series. They can bully the Sixers. Because
didn't they do that?
They did it last year, and I think they did it last year. Because we've learned one thing about Embiid. He gives you one game, he takes one game off. He gives you one game, he takes one game off. If he gives you,
they're hoping that this. Excuse me. They're hoping that this knee surgery can maybe, nix some of that.
Yeah. What you got? Yeah. That's what we're looking at right now. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good little track right here. Yeah, they already started. It. No. Go back down. They have won 4 of the last 5 games. Beat the Kings.
Oh yeah, they have started.
They're started because they just went on a hell of a losing streak. 4 or 5. They had a 7-game losing streak. And then they beat the Kings, beat the Wizards, lost to the Clippers, but beat the Magic and the Spurs. What they do against the Celtics, on Sunday. I don't even know why they having a game on Sunday, the Super Bowl. But what they do against the Spurs, I mean the Celtics, the Bucks. Oh, this next four is going to tell us everything. These next four, you got Celtics, the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Pelicans. The next 4 games. This will tell us everything. But yo, man,
like it.
we are we 2 hours and 2.5 hours in. So, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to close this one
It's
out.
a real show.
Yeah. I'm going to close this one out. I'm gonna not even a quick. I'm gonna edit this bad boy so I can get this out tomorrow. And I'm trying to get it out by tomorrow evening, maybe 12 o'clock, because I'm gonna be a little. I'm making me a brisket, so yeah. Putting that bit on the smoke. Trying to get that bad boy. My boss said I can
trying to be like you when
Hey
I
man,
grow up, bro.
look, I'm just trying. Look, I'm trying to utilize the stuff that we got here that we don't pay for at this point. So, but yeah, man.
I feel that.
Next, next episode, the next podcast, right? You want to continue on Fridays, or do you want to rock on Sundays? We can skip this Sunday since we obviously Super Bowl and whatnot, but you want to?
I mean, we could do a reaction,
I mean, look. If you want to do a reaction, I'm down for a reaction. I love a reaction because it's an immediate reaction type of thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be up. Because I'm gonna be up. Obviously, rocking at the same time. So I can do immediate reaction and be on the. Okay, here we go. So I can rock with it. So, but other than that, man, Josh, this our first episode back in the game. And so we're gonna be rocking on this every single week, and then try to get some extra guests to come on here. And I mean, again, this is called. I mean, if you guys can't see it, but it's called the SportsHungry Battleground. And it's the podcast, but this is the battleground. You come on, talk your smack, do whatever you want to do. Whoever comes on, we want to definitely give them a nice warm welcome. Let them talk. They talk.
I let everybody voice their opinion. If I agree with you, I agree with you. If I don't,
you know what I'm saying? So, and the goal is obviously, me and Josh are going to, give our opinions and have the other individuals give their opinions. But we're also going to try to get some, again, people leading the industries in different aspects of sports to bring them on. So, I'm thinking, again, I'm just putting out just crazy content at this point. Just put out a lot of content when it comes to sports and see what hit, what don't hit. But we want to get all aspects of sports onto this show and give everyone a chance to speak their mind. But I'm Pernell. We got. Go ahead. What's your outro gonna be?
We'll work on it.
Hey, you just gonna smile.
Hey, you got to work on that. I don't know how to do all that now.
But that's what we
just got here. I don't know.
But there we go. And I'm going ahead and call it out. Also, if you guys want to sponsor or advertise on the website, definitely DM us on Instagram. We got it's SportsHungry. It's _ SportsHungry on Instagram. But Josh, we got a SportsHungry podcast Instagram now. It's called SportsHungry _ podcast on Instagram. I'm gonna send you the link as well.
Do that.
And you guys go follow that. And if you want to sponsor an episode, we'll talk about your product. We'll bring it on. Whatever you want to do, we'll do it.
Not bad.
Just DM us and we'll rock from there. Because at the end of the day, we want to give you guys the best show we can, but also we want to grow the platform, and go from there and see where we take it. But that's about it, man. Again, you guys rock with us for 2.5 hours. You're going to see a lot of mini clips of this episode popping up from now to later. I'm telling you, it's going to be moments where you're going to pull some stuff off from this clip, and you might be like, dog, they said this thing in February. It's July, and it's coming to fruition. In football, we ain't got football.
Speak like that,
what?
Cause.
Hey, what?
Speak like that.
And, and I'm going to say this one now. When NCAA drops, I'm just going to put it here, and this is going to be added. This is a little addition. When NCAA football drops, I don't know if it's going to go live, but I just feel like we should just have one game being played live on the Sports Hungry YouTube page. Just go live with it. Just be like NCAA dropped and we just want to play one game.
You know what's so funny? I just played my first game in forever. I think last week we were playing Mortal Kombat, and I was just like, "Dang, I done got back in the
on the sticks."
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. And I'm like, dang, it seems kind of fun. So, boy, if it comes to playing Madden again, or NCAA, but we haven't played that game in a decade, bro.
In a decade. And they've been working so hard to get this out. I hope the expectations for the game don't exceed the actual product. Because if
all right, might as well stop talking about it.
Yeah, man. But all right, man. We're closing out Sports Hungry Pod. Follow us, SportsHungry_pod on Instagram. You can follow the actual Sports Hungry page as well. This will be posted on YouTube. Many clips are going to be going out on TikTok as well as on Instagram. You're also going to get a chance to, again, if you want to sponsor an episode or just want to come on and speak your mind on what we talk about or our next show, whatnot, bring it on. DM us. We love the competition. Sports Hungry Battleground on the podcast. And yeah, that's about it.